Jason Gregor Show.
Taylor Hall fans on the path, gets it back. Miller beats Blake. They score! The Hurricanes respond and retake the lead. Jackson Blake.
On Sports 1440.
Saka got on him in a hurry. Now it's tough with a shot. But Stuck has put the Sabres ahead.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
It's down to the wire here in Game 3. 7 seconds left. Brunson with the ball. Brunson makes it through. Brunson on the baseline. And Lettman takes a 2-1 lead in the series.
A positive Friday. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440. Sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It is the winter that never ends. Be safe out there. Man, I saw some of the highways out by Fort Mac. Brutal. So be safe. Good news, hockey fans, you can stay warm. Inside, maybe you're at home, you're coming inside to OTR. This is the place to be tonight, man. Oh, they got the crab boil going. Now, you can't get tickets for tonight's crab boil, but the final Friday of every month, if you've never done it, you are missing out. It is unbelievable. If you're somebody who likes the crabs, get in. But tonight at OTR, of course, you got the crab bowl starting early, and then, of course, you have the game later, 69-cent wings. You play score and wing, half-price wine and appies, right, until puck drop. So come down. Get a seat and enjoy a pivotal Game 3, the Oilers and the Anaheim Ducks. The Gregor Show, as always, brought to you by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. And, of course, we got a boatload of Jason Gregor Show odds boost specials for you. And tonight, Lotto Max, $50 million and 2 Max Millions. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. I am Jason Gregor alongside Connor Halley. Declan Cougar is running things. Be sure to say hello to him in the YouTube chat. Give him a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Make his day. It's Positive Friday. It's a simple thing. This is your day to make it nice for someone else by literally hitting a button. It's pretty simple. Conman, how you doing?
And I am doing very good, thank you. Other than the weather, that was a bit of a surprise today, although we saw it coming. But overall, pretty dang good. How about you?
That's good. I was at the Alzheimer's luncheon. Had the opportunity to MC that event. It's always great. Heard some great stories from Mike Vernon and Billy Ranford. Of course, the Bob father out of retirement for a day. Bob McKenzie was in town hosting that, so he was doing the hot stove anyway. I got to do a lot of hot stove myself with Brad May, who had a lot of fun. And Darren Hexler had a fantastic speech, just talking about him and his wife Tracy, and she got diagnosed with dementia, at the age of 56, and such a life changer. And so, you know what, as it's out there and the weather's rough right now, but let's be honest, I can always tell you, everybody, if you have your health, trust me, take it. And as Darren said, don't put anything off. Live to the fullest. So it's Positive Friday. So on behalf of Darren and Tracy and everybody else, we're just going to remind everyone, hey, you know what? Have a great day. Get fired up. You're going to be watching the game tonight, maybe with your friends. Maybe you're going to meet some new friends. Maybe you're going to meet the new love of your life tonight. You never know. It's on the rocks, Positive Friday. Anything can happen. And, make the most of it. Think some positive things tonight. So, because, man, listening to Darren and just when, as he said, he goes to, you're basically watching someone that you love die twice because they slowly just lose, ability to drive, and then the ability to talk, and the ability to communicate and remember simple things. Like, think about, you don't remember how to turn your phone on. You don't remember how to work your phone. Stuff that we all take for granted every day. So on a Positive Friday, I thought that was very powerful stuff from Darren, and hope him and Tracy and their extended family doing well, because, man, that was well, you know me, Cons, I'm a little bit of a teary-eyed guy, but I'm sitting there just like, whew. I always try to be pretty positive and look at the what's great about the world. And you know what? Hey, the Oilers are 1-1. They're not down 0-2. They're not like the Kings or the Penguins or the Senators, who are pretty much good night Irene, down 0-3. So that's good. So, Cons, what was the positive for you? I know you follow it closely. What was your standout moment of the NFL draft last night?
Well, I mean, to see a guy 25 years old get drafted, that's pretty impressive. We can probably dive into that a little bit later because that's biased at the Chargers. I mean, for me, I'm kind of like you, just on that topic of kind of getting a little bit emotional when I see these guys. They've worked so hard to get their NFL dream, and they get up there, and sometimes you see the tears come out. Like, I love that kind of stuff. I thought Ty Simpson was a really interesting pick by the Rams.
Yeah.
I don't love it. I love it for him because he's in a great spot to learn from an MVP, a champion, and one of the best offensive minds we've ever seen in the NFL. I hate it for the Rams because for 2 consecutive years, they've been defeated by the team that went on to win the Super Bowl. They kept it close to the Eagles, wasn't in the NFC Championship. They demolished the Commanders. But then last season, we saw them keep it close to the Seattle Seahawks, and the Rams pull 2020 Green Bay Packers and go draft a quarterback. To me, it doesn't make any sense. We'll see what they do with the rest of the draft. But that was kind of the big news for me. Changed kind of how we looked at it. I think guys, just one of the good stories, like Caleb Banks was someone out of Florida who I don't know if many people had going as high as he did. The Mekhi Lemon story, the receiver out of USC, I don't know if you saw it. He gets a phone call from the Pittsburgh Steelers telling him they drafted him. And then the Eagles call. And he's like, why is Philly calling me? Oh, they jumped ahead to grab him. There was a lot of great stories last night in the draft.
Well, here's the thing I don't understand. And maybe why not? Why do you have to call the guy before he announces his name? Why not have him sit at home, call him after, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just every sport's different. But first of all, you don't even have the pick secured. So why are you calling someone to say, hey, we're going to draft you? Well, that's great. Thanks. You're going to draft me. Well, guess what? You didn't draft me because it wasn't your turn to pick. Like, that was a kind of wild situation. And I don't know, like, it's like, are you calling guys so they're going to say yes? Screw that. Like, who's going to say no? And honestly, like, I can't remember the last player was like, dude, don't take me. I don't want to go there. So I don't know. To me, it would be like a moment like that, just the anticipation to sit there and wait, and you're watching TV, and then all of a sudden, and now selected from the, Oklahoma, blah, blah, wherever you're from, right? All of a sudden, the guy's just like, oh my God, like that to me would be better. Right? It's like I watch at the hockey draft. They're sitting there, and lots of kids have no idea. They're sitting in the crowd all of a sudden, and now we're proud to select from the WHL or the American League, or the Ontario League, or Quebec, or Sweden, or Russia, wherever they're coming from. I just find that a little bit better for me.
Bennett Seneca was the best example when he stood up and like pointed at himself. Me?
Yeah.
Like he didn't know he was drafted. I will bring up Eli Manning 22 years ago on this day. He officially did not want to play for the Chargers. Took the picture, holding the jersey, wouldn't wear the hat. They moved on, obviously selected Phillip Rivers and did the swap. But yeah, I mean, other than that would be kind of the only one. And he made no secret about that leading up to it. He told them he didn't want to be a Charger, didn't want to play in San Diego, and the Chargers did not listen.
No, it worked out for him.
Yeah, he did okay.
For both sides, it worked out. The Edmonton Oilers, they're hoping to work things out a little bit better tonight in Anaheim. The first playoff game in Anaheim in quite some time. The Ducks, this is 8 years that they have been without the playoffs until now. So their fans are going to be fired up. The Ducks, actually, the last time they hosted the playoffs, they lost game 1 and 2 at home to San Jose and then got swept. So they haven't seen a home playoff win in 9 years. So it's going to be fired up there. Utah has their first home game of the season. You see what they're doing in Utah today? Awesome. So basically, anybody who shows up outside the building, if you bring a used Vegas jersey, they will give you a brand new Utah jersey. I don't know how many Vegas fans, like obviously there was some, but the lineup's pretty long. But that's fantastic. Right? Like, why not? They're just say, hey, we'll give you a jersey. It's a great way to get fans more excited about your team. It's awesome. Like Ryan Smith, they do a lot of little things like that. They do it well. Trust me, the guy's a billionaire. I'm pretty sure he could give away 1,000 jerseys. He wouldn't even blink. He wouldn't even blink. It would be nothing to him. That's just a fact. So that's a cool little thing to do. You know, that place is going to be crazy. Montreal, of course, tonight. It's always loud in Montreal. Game 3 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And the first 2 games, I'm telling you, if you got the time, you get home tonight, maybe a little appetizer for you is to watch Montreal, Tampa Bay. It'll just get you jazzed up. And then the Oilers and the Ducks are expecting a puck drop of around 8:12, 8:15 tonight. And the Oilers, the only lineup change is maybe Jason Dickinson will be a game time decision. If he comes in, it's probably Curtis Lazar who is coming out. And the Oilers starting tonight as they finished it last game, Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, McDavid, Draisaitl line with Podkolzin and Kapanen. Obviously, stays the same. That line's been great. Savoy with Szymanski and Roslovic. And right now they have Lazar centering Frederick and Doc. No changes on defense. No changes in goal for Ingram. Anaheim Ducks, no lineup changes. They will stick with what won them game 2, Ratko Gudas. I'm not sure he's going to play again in the series. We'll see. But he will not be playing tonight for them. So we'll talk lots about that series. We got Ken Daneyko from the NHL Network joining us. Great guy. Eric Stevens will give us the Anaheim side of things in the second hour. We got Craig Button, Spec, LT, Cam Tate will be by with the 2-minute warning. As always, we'll take your thoughts. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. It's where you can text us. Or, you know what? We're going to have a little bit of an open line time because we're going to have a little fun after Daneyko. Get your thoughts with some open line time. It's Pause Friday. What are you feeling about the game? Like the Oilers, you got to move on from game 2. Now you got to look ahead to game 3. What's your expectation tonight? I did a deep dive on the power play of the Edmonton Oilers. I watched every power play of game 1. Give Anaheim credit. They limited Edmonton's ability on zone entries. They struggle with it. But guess what? People who kept talking about how, Jay Woodcroft, he's got the solution. He knows what the power play is doing. I'm like, are you sure? Because I thought they had some pretty good chances. So I went back and rewatched every one and broke it down play by play on each power play. And there's a few things that stood out. Number 1, Ryan Poehling, he won a few key draws. But the Edmonton Oilers, every single zone entry, no problem, got in the zone. The only time they entered the zone and were out quickly was when one time McDavid came flying in, came across the blue line, no problem. You know how they come in the blue line and then, Draisaitl or Nugent Hopkins, someone sitting 3 feet inside the blue line. Well, McDavid's pass was behind Draisaitl. He didn't handle it, and Killorn was able to ice the puck. Every other zone entry, the Oilers maintained possession, got to set up, and created some good chances. So stop with the false narrative that Anaheim has figured out how to slow them down. Did you notice that Edmonton changed a few things? Usually it's Bouchard goes back, brings up the puck at the blue line, drops it, McDavid comes flying up. So they did that once, but if you notice last game, they changed it. This time they had Draisaitl, whichever way they were going, he was lined up at center ice on the right side. So he would stand there on the right side. Bouchard would go back for the puck. Now he'd pass up to Draisaitl. Meanwhile, McDavid has still gone deep. Now McDavid comes flying up the ice. Draisaitl at the red line waits, and then he passes it across, either a short pass. One time he went kind of to the middle dot. McDavid catches it in flight, enters the zone, no problem. Another time, they came back. Draisaitl looped down at the blue line. Bouchard hit him. Draisaitl, no one looked at him, went right in the zone, no problem. And then 2 other times, they had a quick reboot where they would get the puck out to the blue line. Bouchard got it back, fires it up to McDavid, quick regroup. And then another time, actually, McDavid was the guy who went back to get the puck on the right side, and he just zoomed across the ice left side. They were 100% on zone entries in game 2. So don't tell me the Ducks stopped them from setting up. And then when they got set up, the Oilers had 9 shots, and they had some really good looks. You go back and look at that first power play. Bouchard got set up for 2 one-timers. Washy got a great stick in the lane on one, and another one, Bouchard just missed it wide of the net. But they also added 2 new wrinkles. And in the moment of the game, maybe you didn't pick up on it. Because I'll be honest, I didn't pick up on the second one. I picked up on the first one. Do you remember? I think it was on the, I want to say the second power play. And so usually Draisaitl's on the right side. Correct? So Draisaitl's on the right side. He comes back. He passes it to Bouchard, who's in the middle of the night at the blue line. Then Draisaitl circles up high. Meanwhile, McDavid comes across from the right side. Now McDavid has the puck. He's on the right side. He starts skating across the zone, through the middle, across the slot, through the middle. Meanwhile, Draisaitl circles above him, comes back, and now both of them are in the high slot. McDavid is now on the left side. He passes it back to Draisaitl. He got that one-timer. Dostal made an unreal save. I watched that play a few times. I'm like, I don't know how you defend it. Because if you don't go with McDavid, he's got an open lane. Now he'll just walk in the slot and shoot on the right side. And if you don't cover Draisaitl, well, now he goes back towards Draisaitl, one-timer, and Dostal, that was an unreal blocker save. That was his best save of the game. No question. So that was one new wrinkle. Look for that again tonight. And then the other wrinkle was one time they did the zone entry. McDavid comes in, drops it off to Draisaitl, and Draisaitl just stands up high at the blue line. Didn't move. And the Duck player's like, what? And the forward who's on the left side, he came to Draisaitl, but so did the Duck forward who was on the right side. He comes to Draisaitl. Normally, where's Zach Hyman on zone entries? Right down in front of the net. Well, this time Zach Hyman came in slower. He stood at the top of the circle. Draisaitl passed it down to him. Hyman, in one motion, turns at the net and fires it with a one-timer. Now, the next time, I think if they watch that play on film, they'll realize, oh, my God, Zach, no one was around him. He could have caught the pass and walked in and took his time. But those are two new wrinkles. Anybody who tries to tell you that a team figures out the Oilers' power play, do you know how many tricks they have in their bag? And it's not always about scoring. Like, ultimately, in a short series, you want to score goals. But don't say that Anaheim limited Edmonton. Edmonton had 9 shots, and they had, I counted, 6 really good chances. Now, they missed the net on 2 of them. Nugent Hopkins on a backhand, and Bouchard on a one-timer. He was right downtown. So if they keep getting those looks, they'll go in. That's what I'll say about that. Don't tell me that Anaheim, yes, in game 1, Edmonton a little bit out of sorts. And the only time Edmonton actually didn't maintain possession was when Connor McDavid, and it was kind of a microcosm of his game. He tried, one time Washy was without a stick. Remember on the first power play, he didn't have a stick, and he still tried to force a pass through him, and it hit him in the glove, and then they iced the puck. And then there was another time on the fourth power play, McDavid has time, he tried to force one through, Washy stops, iced the puck. That was it. It wasn't great positioning. It was McDavid trying to thread it. Now, maybe usually he does thread it. Do I think McDavid, because I counted just on the power play, and I'm not including the turnover, because we all know the turnover. Just on the power play, McDavid had 4 passes that normally I think he would make in his sleep, and Draisaitl had one that he was wide open. He went to put it to the corner to McDavid, and he missed it, went around the net, and kind of, wasted kind of 15 seconds. They had a battle to get it set up. But the Oilers won a lot of races to pucks. They had oodles amount of O-zone time on the power play. So they didn't score. That's true. And they had a horrible giveaway that led to the shorthanded goal. So it's a fail of a game in that regard. You get outscored, that's a fail. But when I'm looking at what they did and how they did it, if they get 4 power plays tonight, man, I would go to playalberta.ca. I'd lock it in. I would bet Connor's mortgage payment, which is significant because he lives in a palace, okay? So I have no qualms about the Oilers' power play. Penalty kill, different story. Their penalty kill, you got to get some saves from Ingram. I think the Oilers, when they had a chance, they pressured. You look at the Killorn goal. Szymanski and Ekholm pressure up high, and they're right there, but neither one gets a stick on it. And then Gauthier squeezes it by them and dives out. Great second effort to get it to Killorn, leads to the goal. I think on the penalty kill, when you have chance, when you're that close, you either got to stop the pressure or you got to win the battle and get it out. But they need a little bit more of that on their penalty kill tonight, because it's not like Anaheim has had a boatload of shots, but they've scored on their shots, which is key. Like Killorn's got 4 shots. No one else on their team has more than one, excuse me. So I'm confident in the power play penalty kill. That one, that's going to have to be a work in progress. It would help, I think, having Henrique back. I'll be curious. Chris Knobloch talked about it after game 2. Who's going to be on the penalty kill? So Matt Savoy is going to be on the penalty kill. Szymanski was on the penalty kill last night, was on for 2 goals against. He'll probably be one. Connor McDavid was their best penalty killer in the regular season. If Dickinson is healthy and Henrique's healthy, he's not on the penalty kill, but they're not healthy. So he's probably on the penalty kill. And I won't be shocked to see Leon Draisaitl on there as well to try to win some draws. So that's kind of how I see it going. Kapanen's another guy who's been penalty killing, and I know Dickinson's not there. I don't care. I know that he likes his pairs, and Nugent Hopkins and McDavid have killed together, and timing is a factor, no question about it. But the penalty kill's got to get going. 5-on-5, Oilers got to keep doing what they're doing, except one difference. Anaheim can play up-tempo. That's how they play. They can't shut it down. The Oilers have proven it. They had the 25-game stretch from December 1st to January 25th, 25 games, 3rd best goals against average in the league. Down the stretch, last 10 games, second best goals against. So they've proven they can do it. The Ducks, Ducks can play a high-tempo game. They haven't shown you can play a slower, patient game. The Oilers have done it in the playoffs last year. 1-0 wins over Vegas, 2-1 wins over LA, low-scoring wins over Dallas. They've proven they've done it. They need to do that again tonight. Now, can Edmonton score with them? Yes. But do you want to? Why not force Anaheim to try to play a more patient game and see how they do? That would be my strategy tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. We'll get your thoughts, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. And the other one, obviously would help. Now, I didn't like Nurse's penalty in the first game. I thought it was kind of a soft penalty in the second game. But they scored on both of those. Nurse and Murphy have been very good together on the penalty kill. You have a better chance if they're starting the penalty kill. So Nurse staying on the box would help. Although his second penalty, I thought that was kind of a softer call, to be bluntly honest. Quick break. We'll come back. Ken Daneyko joins us next. It's the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, presented by PlayAlberta.ca live and on the rocks.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Craving your favorite mouth-watering pizzas? Papa John's has large specialty pizzas for only $19.99 for a limited time. Get a flavorful all the meat, the works, ultimate pepperoni, Hawaiian, barbecue chicken, and more on original thin or New York style crust. Use the code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
For the first time in 66 years, Golden Bears and Pandas hockey are on the move. During the 2026-27 Canada West season, two of the most successful hockey programs in U Sports history will call Silent Ice Center in Nisku their temporary home. The Golden Bears and Pandas are excited to connect with the South Edmonton community and welcome new fans to experience the tradition and excitement of U of A hockey. Same tradition, new temporary home. Golden Bears and Pandas hockey at Silent Ice Center for the 26-27 season.
Hold on to your hockey helmets, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 69-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadian and Coors Light for $5.75. Plus, OTR's TVs are so clear, you'll see the puck better than the ref. That ain't hard, is it? Score and win every game night during Edmonton's playoff run with specials starting 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocksyeg.com.
Struggling to find skilled workers? What if you could fill your talent pipeline with motivated, pre-vetted youth and receive funding to support your efforts? At Careers the Next Generation, we connect Alberta employers with interns in skilled trades, IT, forestry, and more. All WCB covered, high school accredited, safety trained, and ready to contribute from day one. With 83% of RAP students continuing their apprenticeships after high school, investing in youth today means securing your workforce for tomorrow. Don't wait. Visit careersnextgen.ca to get started.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Euphoria is back, and it's only on Crave. The groundbreaking HBO original Critics' Call, one of the most explosive, heartbreaking, and entertaining shows on television, returns for a new season, starring Emmy winner Zendaya.
If you make a deal with the devil, there's no turning back.
A new chapter begins. The real world awaits, and their story changes forever.
Wherever these unlucky folk go, there's a cascade of trouble.
Euphoria, new season, stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Oh, Canada. Jiffy Lube is here to keep you moving through mornings like these. Full synthetic oil changes, quality Pennzoil products, tire checks, battery tests, and everything else your car needs to get through our winters. Stop by Jiffy Lube for fast, easy, warranty-approved service. No appointment, no hassle. Just dependable service right when you need it. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving through this.
When it comes to sports in Edmonton, Jason Gregor is a must-listen. He brings you the inside scoop with guests from across North America. If it matters in sports, you'll hear it here first. Gregor rolls out weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes, and they've been doing it in Alberta for over 23 years. Call 1-888-888-5998 or visit mortgagestogo.ca.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
Positive Friday rolls through. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Always brought to you by playalberta.ca as we are coming to you live and on the rocks. Jasper Ave, 118th Street. They've got all the fixing set up for the crab boils. Kind of jealous I didn't get in there. I've been to a few of these. Are unreal, man. Now I'm a seafood guy, so I love it. They fly it in fresh once a month. It is awesome. If you haven't tried it, what are you waiting for? You are missing out. So get in. The next one is it's always the final Friday of each month, and that is, doing quick math in my head, was that May 29th? Cons, you can double check that, but I think it's May 29th. So we'll see.
You're right.
All right. Okay, perfect. Now, let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Spruce Grove Saints. Once again, thanking everybody who supported them this year. And also, remind you, got some unbelievable camps set up this summer. If you're looking for some awesome hockey camps, go to sgsaints.ca. As we are joined by multiple winning Stanley Cup winner, ace analyst for the NHL Network, and of course, as Jason Strudwick used to call him, the mayor of Edmonton, Ken Daneyko, joins us. Ken, how you doing, my man?
I'm good, Jason. How are you? And there's a lot of mayors of Edmonton, maybe of New Jersey now, maybe of New Jersey. I've been here a long time, so
yeah.
Love Struddy, and just good to be on with you.
Yeah, well, hey, Ken, the playoffs they never disappoint. The first round is always exciting. There is 3 series, though, that are 3-0, and teams are on life support, and history tells us that it's only a matter of time before the Pens, the Sens, and the Kings get knocked out. But I want to ask you about that Pens-Sens series, the Sens-Kane series, because last night might have been the most anemic 5-on-3 power play I think I've ever seen in the history of 5-on-3 power plays. Like, I get it. Sometimes, fans will be cheering, shoot, and they're passing around the outside and no one shoots. The Senators couldn't even get set up. It was wild.
Yeah, well, as an analyst in covering the Devils, we yell shoot up top as well during the game. Isn't that the simple answer? But you got to find an open lane. But especially on 5-3, you certainly think you could. Now, you put it in perspective, and what does that mean? And you heard Travis Green talk about it, and our guys a little tight, whatever it may be. We always use that terminology or cliches. But give Carolina some credit. This is a team, and I've seen them a lot, and they've given my New Jersey Devils nightmares in the playoffs, nightmares over the last handful of years in the regular season as well, and they just seem to pressure you, even down to as far as their pressure points, and everybody is reading off each other in sync, and they do make it a little more difficult, and they get you to start to second guess on the power play, and I guess that's all I can say. I mean, power play is about execution, right, Jason? I mean, and that's a couple of quick passes, especially when you've got a two-man advantage, and find an open lane and let her go, and Ottawa's had trouble with that, and certainly last night, every game's been tight. I loved Ottawa going into the playoffs. That was my dark horse to maybe come out of the East, maybe not giving Carolina enough respect, even though I cover them and see them an awful lot. And they've improved from the last previous years, and maybe it's their time. But, boy, they're a well-oiled machine, and they've done just enough to win these tight checking games that we see come playoff time so often. So it's not like Ottawa's getting blown out, but Carolina's doing just enough, and they're just a little bit better in a lot of areas, including the penalty kill versus Ottawa's power play, to be up 3-0.
Yeah, well, what's interesting for me is I'm with you. I thought Ottawa could maybe pull off an upset. I was like, you know what? If they get goaltending, they'll have a really good chance. And they are getting goaltending. Like,
yeah.
You can't ask for better goaltending than what they're getting right now. Yet they can't. They've got 3 goals in 3 games. Like I'm trying to think when the last time a goalie was 0-3 with a .933 save percentage and a 2.02 goals against average. Like, how's that happen?
Insanity, utter insanity. You're absolutely right, especially with coming into the playoffs.
Yes.
You know, questioning whether Allmark is going to be able to rebound. He was better near the end of the season. We all know the history and him going through some tough times during the season, and maybe large part why his game was inconsistent. Well, he's been outstanding. Anderson's been good, but he hasn't been tested as much in the Carolina net. But you're right, and you mentioned Ottawa power play, 5-on-5 as well. They have too many skilled guys to not be creating a little bit more and making plays, and your stars have to step up and make plays come playoff time. And when you got Stützle and Tkachuk with no points, but on the flip side, it's not from getting outworked, in my opinion. For the most part, it's Carolina can be that stifling, and if you don't meet Carolina head on and punch them in the mouth, they go after you. And I've always said that. That's kind of my take when I watch the Devils lose to Carolina. I'm going, they're too tentative. You're too tentative against this Canes team. Rod Brindamore, excellent coach. He has these guys in your face, heavy forecheck, everywhere, pressure, including on the penalty kill. And if you're not prepared for me, that's my take for years, where I'm going, boy, you can't be too tentative against these guys. You've got to go after them with vigor, just as much as structured and solid as they are, and they finish their hits, and I say the well-oiled machine. But I just feel at times, and I know, speaking from experience, watching the Devils as well, and Ottawa maybe a little bit here too, you got to go after it. You can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to make mistakes. Sometimes you have a tendency to be afraid to make mistakes against a well-structured team that has support all over the ice. And I think you got to just play a little looser and go for it, in my opinion, if that makes any sense, Jason.
Ken Daneyko. Well, Ken, I love it. And you're a guy who's a defensive-minded player. Like, that's what you thrived on, right? And even you understand, hey, man, like, I want a good defensive system, but at some point, like, you got to get some goals here. And I just that overtime, yeah, like that overtime loss, Tim Stützle, God, I thought he scored, and it just seemed that, you know, like, their offense is gone. You're not going to win any hockey games. Like, it's not lost on me that the 3 teams who are 0-3 have scored 3, 4, and 4 goals in their 3 games. Like, everybody talks about good defense, and I understand you need good defense, but you have no chance if you can't score. It's just that simple. And none of Pittsburgh, LA, Ottawa, they're shooting blanks, and it's not working. The one series tonight, of course, starts out east. You got Montreal and Tampa Bay, and it's been a very physical series. I could do without all the wrestling matches. Like, that's kind of getting annoying to me, to be honest. Either put up or shut up, or just move on and go. I don't like it after a while. But now they go to Montreal, and you played there, Ken. You know it's a crazy barn. Tampa Bay, they've tried, I think, to intimidate, but it's kind of backfired because they can't stop the power play of the Canadians. That's kept Montreal in games, and it's why it's going to overtime. It's why they lost the first game. If you're John Cooper, like you say, okay, guys, we've tried to show that we're the biggest rooster here. Let's just go play hockey now.
Well, it's funny you brought that up. I've been thinking about it a lot and talked about it with some of my hockey buddies, and I'm saying they don't seem to want to deviate from that. And I was saying that in game 2 where they almost lost game 2 on a late untimely penalty, stupid penalty by Sabrin at the end of the game. And fortunately, they got through that and ended up winning that game in overtime, or it's a 2-0 lead Montreal. But it seems like they're going to live and die by the sword. Ever since they got beat by the Florida Panthers and got bullied, they changed their mindset, their DNA. They changed a lot of things, the Tampa Bay Lightning, as far as we're going to play this way, in your face, scrums after whistles. You don't usually see that as much from teams that are highly skilled over the years in general come playoff time, but it seems that's the recipe that Tampa Bay wants to use moving forward through these playoffs, because I didn't see it stop too much in game 2 after what you had mentioned, 3 power play goals by Slovakia in game 1. Now, having said that, I've gone with the times too, Jason. I don't need to see it all the time. I know the playoffs are more intense, emotional. That doesn't change in 40 years. It's the same as my day when it was a last year game. You're playing for keeps, and everybody, gets out of their comfort zone. Some people have said the Montreal Canadiens before this series, the hockey world, wow, they're smaller. They can't maybe match up to physicality. They happen to have the 2 toughest guys in this series. So I beg to differ. I think the Canadians can. And if I'm tonight, now you want to listen to this and see if you're with me. If I'm Josh Anderson tonight, who's tough SOB and he's been playing great, first shift you want to get the roof off the building and the fans into it, you challenge Brandon Hagel, because Brandon Hagel is the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's a hell of a player, but he's the guy dictating, initiating. That's what I'm doing from I don't even have to be told by the coach. That's absolutely what I'm doing. And I don't need to see fights and all the stuff you're talking about. I agree with you 100%, but don't just go into this game not expecting Tampa Bay to be physical and let them dictate the game. So I want your opinion on that. That's how I feel, because Josh Anderson could do the job in that department, and that would get his team fired up.
Oh, 100%. I don't know if Brendan Hagel would take that fight. Josh Anderson, a pretty big dude, but yeah, why not? Just say, hey, man, I actually liked that Slavkovsky and him went at it. I have no problem with them actually fighting. It's the constant wrestling with their gloves on. I don't know. It just kind of either agree to fight or just move on. So give them all 10s, and then it'll stop the insanity.
But the reason I say that is they almost went at it, Anderson and Hagel tried to initiate it in one of those scrums prior to the Slavkovsky fight. So Hagel wants to be a big boy. He's a tough kid. I give him a ton of credit, and a heck of a hockey player with a lot of skill. He might answer the bell and want to, and I don't know if he should, because Anderson's that tough, if he's mad enough. And everybody would say Slavkovsky struggled after that fight and everything. If I'm the Montreal Canadiens, I'm loving with Slovakia. That shows me he's all in.
Yes.
He scores the hat trick in game 1, so he got hit by a punch. I don't care if he won or lost the fight. It's showing that he's becoming a leader. He's a guy that's not his game to drop the mitts. I know he's a big, strong kid, but he was showing that, look, I'm here, guys. I'm going to do whatever it takes for my team. So I love that part of it. But I heard a lot of different analogies from people after the game. After that punch, he wasn't as good. Yeah, he turned the puck over. Okay, so he didn't have a great game. But to me, it was nothing to do with that. It was more I just love the fact, in the long run, you have a young 22-year-old number 1 overall pick that was a guy that was lackadaisical at times and in and out and not mentally engaged and not involved. Well, that's not anymore. He's taken huge strides for me when he showed the courage to do that.
Yeah, Ken, could not agree with you more. Let's finish with the late game, of course, out west, Edmonton and Anaheim. And the Oilers, if you would have said, hey, guess what? You got 8 5-on-5 goals in 2 games, they'd be like, oh, sign me up. And, oh, by the way, McDavid has no points. Oh, geez, sign me up. The problem is their special teams last game was just atrocious. It's not, you can't sugarcoat it. As a penalty killer, Ken, and I'm sure you had stretches where your team had given up a few. How do you get out? What's the best way to get out of a funk on the penalty kill?
Best way to get a funk on the penalty kill, I was going to say, everything on the power play simplify, right? On the penalty kill is don't think, react. Sometimes what happens is when things aren't going on the penalty kill, because everybody's reads are just off. It's the margins are slim. So where one guy's jumping, the other guy's not, reacting to that. So it's stop. I mean, easier said than done, but if I'm a coach and coaches the penalty kill, that's what you're saying. You're saying, don't think. We're thinking too much. And then you hesitate, right? So it probably be aggressive, be more aggressive, regardless how good your opposition's power play is. And Anaheim's got some skilled young guys that can make plays, but be damned for doing it. If you sit back too much, that's just my opinion, then they start picking you apart because they know you're tentative. But once one guy jumps, you've got to read and react right away and just swarm. And that's how I feel, kind of like the Carolina Hurricanes penalty kill, which they do very effectively. But yeah, sometimes when you're struggling, it's all because you're tentative, you're thinking too much. Should I jump? Should I hold back? Kind of attitude. And maybe that's a little bit what I've seen. And we know the importance of special teams in the playoffs. I mean, what surprised me going to another series, the Buffalo Sabres haven't scored a power play goal yet. They're up 2-1, and they've got a heck of a power play. So that tells me that team has really grown, certainly, because their power play and won't stay off the board forever. And obviously, Edmonton's penalty kill wants to be better in Game 3. But it's amazing. McDavid, you would think, is going to pop off, right, sooner than later, and they hope it's in Game 3.
Yeah. I think most people in the hockey world are expecting Connor McDavid. Well, the good news is it'd be impossible for him to be worse than he was in Game 2, so he's going to be better tonight. How much better remains to be seen, and that's why we'll all be watching. Ken, always good to catch up with you, man. We appreciate it. Enjoy the games. Before I let you go, give me your thoughts on the Sonny Meta hire, and what do you think that's going to do for the Devils?
Well, you know what? The press conference, I was there, and I was extremely impressed. He just, and it's not just all about analytics with him. He grew up a diehard Devils fan. He's invested. He's from Jersey. He's learned along the way with the Stanley Cup championship team. I mean, all those things are positives. I really liked what he had to say in the press conference. He seems extremely intelligent, prepared, understands the task at hand here in New Jersey, and that he's got a lot of good pieces, but he's got to really fill in some holes. And he mentioned, I'm a numbers guy, I'm an analytics guy, risk reward and gathering all this information. But don't think I'm just going to put a team in a computer and figure it out. He knows the heart, the soul, because he's coming from and the intangibles of the eye test and players that play their often. That's what he came from the Florida Panthers. It wasn't all about analytics. It was about they had a lot of guys that played a lot harder than the other team. And that's the bottom line. And that's sometimes you got to mesh those together. And I think he's a really good choice. I'm excited to see what he can do moving forward.
Ken, as always, buddy, great to talk to you. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the playoffs.
My pleasure, Jason. Take care, man.
There you go. That is Ken Daneyko, of course, 3-time Stanley Cup winner. Ace analyst now for the NHL Network. We will take a quick break. We got lots of texts to get to, 833-401-1440. Also, it's Positive Friday. Give me your reasons on the text line. In honor of Darren and Tracy and all their struggles going through Alzheimer's and everything and all the other people out there. So we're looking for, hey, I know it's snowy out. I'm trying to get people fired up. Come on, let's be honest. We could all be Eeyore, be like, hey, you know what? We're on the right side of the dirt. It's Positive Friday. You know what? Maybe you got plans, meeting up with your buddies. You got a family watch party. You're coming to OTR. Maybe you're ready to, who knows? You might be meeting your new best friend, your new love of your life. You never know. It's Positive Friday. But give me your reasons, 833-401-1440. Call us, 833-401-1440, on why you believe the Oilers can bounce back tonight. 833-401-1440. It's a Gregor Show, live and on the rocks, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Craving your favorite mouth-watering pizzas? Papa John's has large specialty pizzas for only $19.99 for a limited time. Get a flavorful all the meats, the works, ultimate pepperoni, Hawaiian, barbecue chicken, and more on original thin or New York style crust. Use the code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
It's playoff time on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. This is Andrew Walker. Join us for the Titan Supply pregame show before each Edmonton playoff game. Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. And yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Hey, it's Jamie from Green Drop Lawn Care. They may be teeny tiny, but chinch bugs can completely devastate your lawn or garden. If you have yellowing grass that doesn't improve with watering, you may already have them. At Green Drop, we'll identify them, treat them, and help you recover from the damage before it's out of control. Stop chinch bugs cold with Green Drop Lawn Care, Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Find out more and get started at greendrop.com.
A relaxing day at the lake without a Toyota Tundra can be noisy. But when you get a Tundra at your local Toyota dealer, you can take advantage of up to 11,000 pounds of towing capacity to find a quieter spot. That's better. Lease a 2026 Tundra 4x4 double cab SR5 from $149 weekly for 60 months at 5.29% APR with $8,799 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your Prairie Toyota dealer today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The playoffs are here and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and play score and win every game. See more at ontherocks.yeg.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Positive Friday. How are you? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X. and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where tonight we got a bevy of choices for you. All depends. How confident are you that the Edmonton Oilers can get a win? What about McDavid? How many points do you think for old C-Mac tonight? 0, 1, 2, 3 plus? So I looked through Connor McDavid's career. He has played between playoffs and the regular season 892 games. 794 in the regular season, 98 in the playoffs. Of course, this weekend he'll play 99 and 100 in the postseason. In 892 games, only 5 times in his career has he gone pointless in 3 consecutive games. It's never done 4. Did 3 5 times. The last one was in 2023. So, first of all, the odds of him going pointless tonight, very low. Not impossible, but very low. And then you look at, well, what has he done in games, where he hasn't, even like you look at McDavid in the playoffs has gone, this is the 5th time where he's went 2 points or 2 games in a row without a point. In the 3rd game, he scored 1, 3, 3, and 2, and 2. So he's averaged 2 points a game in the game after going 2 games without a point. Not a shock, really, when you just look at his overall points per game coming in the playoffs this year was 1.5, and now it's down a little bit. I think it's like 1.46. Maybe I have to double check that, but either way, he has a history of not allowing a slump for his standards to extend to any sort of concern. It is wild when, I took a step back and I was like, the guy's gone 2 games without. Now, the last game, that play from Connor McDavid is literally a once in 11-year play. I was racking my brain thinking of a time where McDavid made a play that would be even remotely close to what happened late in that period in their own zone. Because when you watch it the first time, you're like, oh, he must have thought someone was going to be there. But then I watch it from the behind the net camera angle. And yeah, he shoulder checks first, but when he shoulder checks, like, no one's there. They're going to change. And then he just blindly throws it away. Like, it's wild. It's wild. And I saw some people suggest, oh, it's because of his ankle. Why? Well, what does an ankle have to do with it? He had just went up the ice twice on great rushes. I don't buy that for a second. I don't need to make excuses. He just had a brain fart. Inopportune time, not great. He had it. When there's things that you should feel good about as an Oilers fan, you should feel good about the fact that Connor McDavid has a history of bouncing back when he goes a few games without a point. And there's games, sometimes he won't have a point. He'll play a great game. That wasn't the case last game. And he's the captain of your team. He's a highly proud player. Everybody knows how driven he is, just like Draisaitl and others. They want to win. He will do his part more tonight, is my expectation. And because we got a lot of text flying in, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Greg's, the problem I see is that Ingram's being outplayed, and I don't see that changing. Yeah, well, if Dostal is better, yeah, that's a very realistic possibility. But going into the series, how much of a difference do you think we would have valued Dostal or Ingram, right? Who do you think would have been considered the better goalie in the series? And if it was Dostal, like, would it have been like 8-10 ratio? Probably not. But when the series began, and you would have said, who's the best defenseman? They would have said Evan Bouchard. Who's the best forward? They would have said Connor McDavid. And through 2 games, those two have been outplayed. I would argue that, to me, that is a bigger issue. Do I think it will continue? No, but it's an issue. And I would say that's a bigger issue based on my expectation of what I thought Connor Ingram would be. So I think it's fair to suggest that, Dostal might be better. He might. I thought he was quietly pretty good. I know the Oilers, and that's the thing. Dostal was really good in game 2, and he still allowed 4 goals. And he allowed 4 goals in game 1. And you look at the Dickinson breakaway, that wasn't a bad play. Yeah, you look at the Draisaitl goal last game. That's more unlucky than anything else. I don't blame the goalie on that one. Zach Hyman, nice redirection, deflection. It's not a bad goal. So even though Dostal, you feel, has played better, he still allowed 8 goals. And I would suggest that if two of your top 3 big dogs take care of business, more often than not, you got a really good chance to win. Doesn't mean you win ever, because McDavid's played great some games, they lose. You've seen that over the years, of course. But Bouchard, I thought, was better in game 2 than he was in game 1. And I know he's got a ceiling that he can still reach based on past history. So that to me is good. Hey, guys, I believe the Oilers bounce back because it's not like McDavid and Bouchard not to have a point in 3 games. Their power play is going to be way better. That one comes from Sam. Hey, Oilers, Gregor, Oilers bounce back because anyone that says the Ducks have figured them out is drunk. LA couldn't figure them out 4 times, Dallas twice, Vegas also, but the Ducks can. Not a chance. Dave from Stoney. Well, Dave, that's a very valid point. This whole narrative, and God, I just where does it come from? It comes from people where everybody wants to be the first to say, I told you the Oilers power play, it was going to slow down. Right? There was people earlier this year saying that Connor McDavid had reached his peak. Remember that? People actually said it. So I don't know why. When I'm talking about great players, and in this case, a great power play, they've gone 2 games without a goal. 2. And last game, having watched every second of the 4 power plays back, trust me, their power play didn't struggle creating looks. They just didn't finish. You keep getting that many good looks, you'll score. That's just how it works in hockey. You keep getting that many good looks, you'll score. So I think the power play, I have no issue with it. As far as figuring it out, now the Oilers, the one thing I feel they need to figure out tonight is who do they want to be in this series? Do they want to be loosey-goosey and play run and gun? Okay. Because I still think they can win that way. It's just harder to win that way because Anaheim hasn't proven at any stage yet that they can win and play a tight, low-event game. Edmonton has shown they can do it. I go back. How many 1-0 wins do they have in the playoffs the last few years? 3? How many 2-1 wins do they have? 4? So they've shown they can do it. Now, they're not going to do it every game. I don't expect them to do it every game. But I view the Oilers as, let's see if Anaheim can play another way. That's how I view it. Can Anaheim play another way? Boys, McDavid's going to break out tonight. Multi-point game, and the Oilers are taking it 5-3. Book it from Steve in St. Albert. Hey, Gregor, Oilers record in round 1, games 1-4. They have a win-loss record of 9-7. Games 1-4, 9-7. Well, they were 0-4. Get rid of 2022. And then they're 9-3 in their last 3 years. So, right? Because they got swept by Colorado. And since then, they're 9-3. And actually, no, they have to be more than that because there's 4 games in 23, 4 in 25, right? So that's 12 plus 2 this year. So they have to be more. So you're missing 2 games if you're saying 9-7. You're not including this year. But either way, I look at the Oilers. And, what happened in 2022 is really kind of irrelevant for anybody. Edmonton has been better lately. Look at last year. Right? They had a tough start against LA, then they turned it up. Really good start against Vegas. Dallas, lose game 1, win the next 4. Edmonton has beaten better teams, I think, than Anaheim the last few seasons. But last year's last year. Now the Oilers have to show their experience and their ability to play a more complete game. They've shown they can do it in the past, but that's just the past. Can they do it tonight or Sunday? That, to me, has to be the main focus for them. Now, I know they can win 6-5, and selfishly, I'd rather watch that game. I like lead changes. I like goals. I get it. But for the betterment of the Oilers, they need to mix in a good defensive game here. That's the one thing they haven't done. Offense, I've always said it. I've said it for years. I don't fret about they could win tonight 1-0, 2-1. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, the Oilers can't score. Not at all. They can always score. I don't have a problem. Offense always comes around. Now defense, it's a little bit more Jekyll and Hyde. So, guys, fans should feel pretty good that this team is mediocre early in round one. It's pretty common. It's always irritating, but usually they find a higher level after the first few games from Matt. That is true, Matt. They, outside of the Vegas series last year when they went up 2-0, they usually aren't, usually they're losing game one and then they're having to battle back and win game two. So they are 0-3 now in game twos when they win game one at home. They're 0-3. And they've lost 5-4 in overtime, 5-4 in double overtime, and 6-4 with an empty net goal. So basically the same score every time. What have they got in store tonight? They've said it. They like playing on the road. The numbers match it. And they're not you'll lose some games where you play well and lose in the playoffs. Ask Ottawa. I could argue that Ottawa's played 3 pretty good games and they're 0-3. Their goalie has a .933 save percentage and a 2.02 goals against average. And they're 0-3. That is why I'd love to find out. It would take a lot. When was the last time a team started a series 0-3 and their goalie had a .930 save percentage or higher in those 3 games? We got to go back a long way, man. First of all, it's not many teams are 0-3, so that's number one. But in the 200 plus times that it's happened, I'd be surprised, especially in this era of expansion since 1980, that there'd be a lot of teams with a better save percentage and a better goals against average than Ottawa. Ottawa has scored 3 goals in 3 games. Pittsburgh and LA have scored 4. And guess what? They're all 0-3. Don't ever say the defense wins championships. You need good defense, but you still need to score. Let's get to the con man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good. For professional property services you can feel good about, get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. Visit hiregood.ca. Hire Good. Stable jobs, create stable lives.
The Sports 1440 update.
3 games tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs, all of which are tied at 1 game apiece. Of course, Oilers Ducks down in Anaheim. Puck drop 8 o'clock. 3-game coverage coming your way with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson at 6. We've also got the Lightning heading to Montreal and the Mammoth hosting the Vegas Golden Knights. In the association, 3 games tonight as well. Sixers, Celtics, the Lakers in Houston, and the Trailblazers up against the Spurs. Major League Baseball, Jays kicking off a series in Toronto against the Guardians. First pitch, 5:07. Elsewhere, the Red Sox in Baltimore. Braves host the Phillies. Pirates get the Brewers. White Sox, Nationals. Yankees, Astros. Mariners in St. Louis. And the Dodgers hosting the Cubbies. In the BCHL, Crusaders in Brooks tonight. Game 5 against the Bandits. That series tied at 2 games each. Puck drop 7 o'clock. And NFL draft rounds 2 and 3 from Pittsburgh tonight get going at 5. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show from On the Rocks, we'll be joined by our co-host Wanye Gratz. Also, Eric Stevens of The Athletic joins us to talk about the Ducks. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Craving your favorite mouth-watering pizzas? Papa John's has large specialty pizzas for only $19.99 for a limited time. Get a flavorful all the meats, the works, ultimate pepperoni, Hawaiian, barbecue chicken, and more on original thin or New York style crust. Use the code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
It's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick, and we know trucks. And we have the best deals of the year right now. Some have 0% for 4 years. We have 0% for 6 years. That's on our #1 selling GMC Sierra half-ton crew cab, or the Elevation, the AT4, or Denali. Yep, 0% for 72 months. And Costco members get an extra discount on some of our SUVs. Pop in today and drive away smiling. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
It's playoff time, and we've got a lot to talk about. This is Andrew Walker on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. Tune in after every Edmonton playoff game for the Legacy Heating and Cooling postgame show. Visit the experts at legacyheating.ca.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. MortgagesToGo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, good to go.
For over 50 years, The Brick has been proudly serving Canada. They love to save you more on everything you need for your home. Save up to 60% off made in Canada sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Find patio sets starting at just $99 and save up to 40% off mattresses. Plus, take 5 years to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses. Taxes and fees due at purchase, OAC. Visit a Brick near you for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
The puck is passed up through the neutral zone, and here's a breakaway. He's coming in hot. He shoots it. Oh, no, a broken stick.
When it comes to performance, quality parts matter. Napa Auto Parts has all the reliable parts, tools, and more to keep your vehicle running like a playoff contender. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
CTV Sundays. Television's most captivating love story continues on Sullivan's Crossing.
It's hard to focus on the present when you're still looking at the past.
But the road ahead takes an unexpected turn.
Would have thought you'd mentioned being married before.
A lot's changed since then.
Morgan Cohan and Chad Michael Murray in the drama that asks, is true love enough? An all-new Sullivan's Crossing, Sundays on CTV. Stream next day on Crave.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Can Torque. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday. I know. You know what? Today more than ever, a lot of us, because I get it. We're done, right? You were just like, this is not. I didn't want April 24th to be snowing like this. There's no one out there that's like, this is awesome. I don't think there's anybody. I can't think of anybody who would be like, this is the best. We've had a fair amount of moisture. I don't think so. Now, in Edmonton, we're pretty lucky. If you look at the videos coming from the roads up from Fort McMurray, like, did you like? It was standing still. They couldn't get through. There was a big accident, so there's tons of snow. It's it can always be worse somewhere, unfortunately. And You know what? I look outside now. It looks like the snow has stopped, at least downtown at OTR. So, there you go. Little chillier than we'd like, but you can push through it. To come an OTR, Jasper Ave 118th. You'll have a lot of fun. I can tell you that tonight for the order game. 69-cent wings. You've got special. How about this? You want to be a little classy. Half price wine right up until puck drop. So check that out. And then there's drink specials throughout the game. Lots of non-alcoholic choices too. Don't worry. Jasper Ave and 118th Street. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. You'll get more of your thoughts on the game. But hey, let's hear from the head coach as we get to the Oil Report, brought to you by Go Auto. Go Auto. Wishing the Oilers the best of luck. They have partnered up with Connor McDavid for the last many years, and we're wishing 97 a good effort tonight from Go Auto. Chris Knobloch was asked about the process. Now, I just want to say, I know people say, oh, you got to get the power play going. If you talk about the process, I don't think you watched last game close enough to think that the process didn't always happen. The power play doesn't score every game. But last game, they got a lot of looks. They got zone entries perfect every time. They got a lot of the looks they wanted. They just didn't finish. But here's the coach on the power play.
Yeah, we've definitely gone 2 games without scoring a goal in the regular season. There's been times where it's been unlucky. It's been times where it's been not very good or sharp. And, for this group to be 30% plus all season long, and, it's obviously there's just those stretch, and certainly something that we don't want to overthink and change anything too dramatically.
Why would you? If you want, now, we could go through it on the show. But if you want to read it, you can go to my Oilers Nation GDB article today. I went through every power play of game 2. On every puck touch, everything that happened. And I'm telling you, there was way more good than bad. Obviously, the bad was really bad. We all know the play. That was awful. But if you look at how many chances they had in some really good looks and some new wrinkles, I will not be shocked at all if the Oilers power play gets on a little bit of a heater here based on the looks that they generated. The Anaheim Ducks aren't a great penalty killing team all year long. Now, it's 2 games, and in game 1, they would be very confident of how they play. I don't know if they would love their penalty kill and the amount of looks they gave up. Dostal, he was their best penalty killer. That's what you'll need. The coach asked about, not a lot of animosity in the series. No fights, obviously, very few scrums. Is that a good thing for his team?
Yeah, I'm not sure why. I know a lot of the teams, it's part of their identity to really muck it up, and probably more of getting the other team distracted. I think this series has been more of let's play our game, and I don't think any team feels like they're heavy underdog that they have to disrupt the other team's rhythm and flow. I think both teams have just been focused on playing their game the best they can.
From his perspective, is he more worried about the goals allowed or the power play / McDavid's 5-on-5 struggles?
Well, if you defend well, you should be able to, if you can keep the puck out of the net, you give yourselves the best chance to win every game. And these 2 games, we certainly have scored enough that you feel that you're going to win. That's not always the case every single night. But, overall, collectively, we need to limit those goals and those mistakes. And, whether it's our forwards, our defense, our goalie, everyone chip in a little bit more so we can keep that puck out a little bit more, whether it's 1 or 2 goals.
Yes, goals against, they would like to bring those down. And goals for each game. It's not a big problem. And that's without power play and without McDavid getting a point. They still have 8 goals. So once again, to me, it's an easy one. Goals allowed all day long. What's the key for the Oilers to find a way to play lower event hockey?
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's been high event. There's been a lot of goals on both sides, and I guess maybe the quality of chances have been good. But, I think both teams have been doing a pretty good job of, not forcing things, especially if it's high event. You usually see a lot of high risk, high danger high reward kind of plays on the attack, on the rush, at the blue line. And, I haven't seen either team turn the puck over that much there. So that kind of tells me that it's been more of a little tighter defensively than maybe these games have been in the past with Edmonton and Anaheim. So maybe just the type, and then also certainly our focus on the penalty kill, giving up fewer off that. So I think the theme always, mostly for the coaches, trying to limit those goals against, and certainly that's what's on our mind.
Yep, as it should be. Where does he come out? Does he feel there's any advantage of playing on the road?
It takes away a lot of the thinking, and you can just play freely and a lot more flow, and you're not worried about matchups. On the other hand, some teams are very strong on the matchups and want to just have their key shutdown guys against Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl. So they might feel it's beneficial for them to have that last change. For us, we like playing at home in front of our fans, but I also feel for our players, there's a lot more rhythm and flow when you're on the road, just because you can just go out and play.
I guess so, right? The start of the game, I've talked to lots of players. It's always loud, right? It's loud in Edmonton. It's going to be loud in Anaheim. Now, will it be 112 decibel loud? I have no idea. But if it's 110, you can't tell the difference, right? It's like, hey, what's the temperature? It's 28. Bob's like, no, it's 27. Let's be honest. Can most of us tell the difference when it's out? You're like, yeah, it's pretty hot. So it'll be loud there. Where home ice advantage comes in is sometimes when you're trailing and you're trying to get a little boost and the crowd's cheering, right? That can get you going sometimes. And at the same time, some teams thrive on the fact that, oh, is it quiet in here? Now we're doing it. So works both ways. It's for playing your game. Maybe it's in your head. It's simpler. I don't know, come playoff time, I think you just want to play. I don't know if you're like, well, geez, we have to put on a show. Like, I don't know. Not sold on that, because home teams still win more. It's just how it goes. What did Knobloch think about the chicken toss on the ice?
It's obviously disappointing at home seeing that, and obviously it's just one fan who kind of ruins it for everybody. And unfortunately, I think the building handled it appropriately, but hopefully they can celebrate and get involved in the game some other ways.
Spoken like a true dad right there. Because I think we'd all agree. Like, now, if you do it before the game, that's where it was, right? The octopus comes on the ice before the game, right? When Sheets threw the beef on was before the game, right? That's when you do it. Now, you want to throw hats on the game during the hat trick, 100%. You don't throw the chicken during the play. Unwise, right? There was the other fan that in game one who threw the beer on the ice. So, which leads me to the question, Connor Halley. And we were going to talk about this yesterday, but we didn't. But I'm curious. The guy who gets caught throwing the chicken on the ice, what's the ban from the arena? Like, what's a fair ban in your eyes?
Yesterday when you asked me, I quickly said 10 years. And I don't think that was stiff enough. I'm banning him for life. Lifetime ban. Don't come back here. I posted that on our social media page, and the amount of people, Gregor, that were like, you know what? He also kind of killed momentum. The fans got quiet after that happened. You were there. You can confirm this for me or not. But you don't go to these games to throw things on the ice. I think it's just stupid behavior. I don't care if you were drunk. You prepped this. You brought the chicken. You snuck it in for this purpose. I'm done with you. You can watch from a bar. You can watch from home. You can watch from anywhere. But I would just say, get the heck out of Rogers Place, because I don't like it. I mean, there's fights that happen. Sometimes that's spur of the moment. Those have to be punished properly as well. But this guy had a plan. This was premeditated. I'm done with him. He's out.
Lifetime ban for the con man coming off the top rope. Wow. Wasn't expecting that.
What do you think?
Well, lifetime I feel is pretty harsh, right? I saw the picture of the guy, early 20s, maybe the frontal lobe's not fully developed yet. They say sometimes still 25. I kind of agreed with to me, it's got to be significant. I don't believe in just, no, it's okay. No, I think it's got to be significant. I would say I was probably thinking 5 to 10, honestly. I know something, guys, come on, whatever. But I'm like, no, because I'm a firm believer. If you make the punishment severe enough, it deters other people. It's just that simple. Look in the NHL. Rafi Torres, the NHL used to kind of pussyfoot around. And, you get 2 games, and maybe you'll get 3, and you'll get 1. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, you know what? We're getting some lawsuits, so that obviously money talks. And then suddenly, what did Rafi Torres get? 40 games. And look at how many chicken wing. You're always going to have some head contact. When you've got guys going that fast, you're going to have some head contact. But when was the last time you saw like the blatant chicken wing on someone? It doesn't happen very often anymore. Even just overall headshots don't happen very often. So, you know what? Make it significant. Lifetime, that's real significant, Cons. I'd probably a little bit more lenient. I'm like, hey, we've all done stupid stuff in our 20s, but I want to make it enough where he's like, oh, damn. It's a little embarrassing because if all you get is a fine, that guy goes around to parties. Hey, guys, I threw the chicken on the ice. Oh, yeah, and I got a $600 fine. Woo! Cool. Look at me, right? Or that's aura. That's what the kids are calling it now, right? Like, come on. No, it's not. So I'd want to make it significant for sure. So I would 5 to 10 would be mine. Now, you can still do all other things. This going to the games is a privilege. It's not a right. It's a privilege. Make no mistake. So that's where I'd come out. I'd be curious about the audience. Now, as for the momentum, Cons, they threw it on the ice, and the rest. I don't know if they decided because it was on the ice, because then they went to a TV timeout. So that played a part in extending it, because it's not that long to clean up, to be honest, right? Mm-hmm. Like some guy gets blood in the ice to come out with the shovels, done. Right? It could be done in less than a minute. So they could have done it, but they did have a TV timeout for it. So, Greg's, what about the fights? Yeah, well, I talked about this. To me, there'd be twofold. I know the people who fight. I'll ask, but I thought the ban, if you get caught fighting, first of all, is like the rest of the year. For some, I think it's up to a year. For others, that's what I've heard. I don't think it's a lifetime one. I'm pretty sure it's not, but I have to confirm that. I'm at the point now, though, the people that video it and then send it to post it, I'd find out who they are. They're banned too. We've got 18,000 people, and 99.99999% of them are great. Why don't show the videos of the good people doing good things? I don't like it. So that's where I come out on that. Like Oiler fans fighting Oiler fans, like over what? Like, I'm sure you're drunk and something stupid happens, but come on. Ends up like, the guy bumped my shoulder, man. Okay. All right. What's next? You guys just going to put gloves on and wrestle around? What do you think of Montreal and Tampa Bay? Eric Stevens will join us. The Anaheim Ducks, they got a little belief. Now they're at home for 2 games. What's the atmosphere going to be like in the Honda Center? Is it going to be the orange out? They going to all black? What's happening? We'll find out with that. And what is Joel Quenneville's approach in Game 3? He's got last change. What are the matchups he's going to want? Or is there any? We'll find out next. It's the Jason Gregor Show, live and on the Rock Jasper Ave 118th, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Cantork has always been a forward-thinking company, but now that we've turned 25, I can't help but take a minute to take a look back. Thank you to everyone that's been with us along the way.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Welcome to Silent Ice Center, the region's newest hockey and event center in Nisku. Featuring 2 NHL-size ice surfaces, premium seating, private suites, and an electric atmosphere. From elite hockey to major tournaments, concerts, and special events, this is where the action lives. And with Summit Restaurant overlooking the rink, every event is a full experience. Silent Ice Center, built for champions, built for the community. Book your ice, your event, or your next big night at Silent Ice Center. Email booking at silenticecenter.com.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports. Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca to get started.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And a deal later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
free McDonald's.
Now that's what I call
a double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value. For a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Emerald Equipment. Emerald Equipment is Edmonton's newest dealer of Yanmar compact equipment. Machines built tough with the jobs that don't quit. Get your new Yanmar compact track loaders with ASV Posi-Track at Emerald Equipment.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
3:28. Got a text message during the break from someone at the OEG and fighting in the crowd, con man. That's an automatic 1-year ban, and the chicken is that and could be higher. So there we go. So not a lifetime, but automatic minimum 1 year. So.
If they need a arbitrator and someone who's not afraid to be the bad guy in this situation, tell them to call me.
The con man. Yeah. Con man's right in on. Con's coming down. Like maybe we could get instead of Judge Judy, we'd have like Judge Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That would be a great. We could have rulings every Friday. What's up? That would be fantastic. I like it.
But I won't be like that cool guy that went viral. I will be very strict, but fair.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe being strict and fair would get you viral if you want. Not that's why you do it. Just want to get it right. You don't want to get viral. You want to get it right. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. As it's time to go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And, oh, baby, the Chicken Big Mac debuted in 2023 to roarous applause. And now it's back, but only for a limited time in Canada. Get yours today at McDonald's. As we are joined by a good friend of the show, longtime beat reporter for both the Ducks and the Los Angeles Kings, Eric Stevens from The Athletic, joins us. And Eric, I'm sure that the Ducks fans are pretty excited. There hasn't been a home game in 8 years, so I'm sure it'll be rocking. So my first really hard-hitting question is, are they going like I know you and I were talking like, yeah, T-shirts don't really work in Anaheim. They don't put the T-shirts. People don't wear them. But I like, obviously lots of teams have the towels. Is it like, because they go with Orange County, is it orange towels? Is it black towels? What are they doing?
You know what, Jason? This morning, I kind of got to the bottom of it, that a little bit here. In game one, they're going with black. I'm sure you maybe saw some pictures online or whatsoever. And at first, I found that very curious because, as you've seen, they've leaned hard into the orange look with the uniforms. They even have their slogan is "Welcome to Orange Country." Here, obviously a spinoff on where they're located in Orange County. But I understand that it won't be just the black for throughout the series, or at least throughout the home games at Honda Center, that they will have orange towels for game 2. So they're doing a little switcheroo in between the games here.
All right. The Ducks, like any road team, you get the split, you're pretty happy. They come back. They're not going to make any lineup changes. I don't see any reason why to do it. But now Joel Quenneville has last change. There wasn't, Chris Knobloch didn't chase many matchups. The Ducks' top 2 pairings were basically out there against, McDavid's line pretty much exclusively, and mainly against Draisaitl. But obviously the third pair got about 6 minutes against Draisaitl so far. Now that Joel Quenneville has home ice, is it still just the deep airs that he wants out against McDavid, or do you think he might look to get a line out against him more often than he did on the road?
Yeah, you know what? It's a great question, Jason. And if something is working, certainly you don't want to go away from that. They've really taken a real collective approach, first of all, in terms of trying to defend against McDavid whenever he's on the ice. But one guy, really that has emerged, in particular, that I think he really likes as in terms of the matchup, and he's done well so far, is a rookie that they have, Tim Washy, who's their 4th line center. He's really emerged. He started the year in the AHL, brought up maybe midway, through the season, has kind of become their 4C, the regular 4C. And in this series, he's gotten a lot of ice time against Connor, and it has shown to hold his own, not only just hold his own, but fare well. So, Joel's really not one to say hard match, so to speak. I think that he favors, given different looks at different times. But I would not be surprised to see if Tim Washy gets more assignments, or continues to get assignments whenever Connor is out there. His ice time is up way more than what it was during the regular season, and that's reflective of the job that he's been doing.
I look at the Ducks, and there's lots of things they like. The big question a lot of people have is, hey, the Ducks can play up-tempo game, and I would argue they've kind of controlled it because both games have been more up-tempo than they've been necessarily locked down. Now, Edmonton has in the past shown that they can do it. Do you think the Ducks, is that, if I'm Edmonton, I want to see, let's try to slow this game down and see if the Ducks can play that way. Because Joel Quenneville even talked about it, he likes to play their style. That's kind of who they are. And it's hard. The hardest thing to learn is how to play consistent defensively. Do you think the Ducks can play a slower, patient game?
Yeah, you know what? It's funny that you mentioned that, because it's almost like the script has kind of flipped a little bit, because there was a time, obviously when the Ducks were rebuilding whatsoever, that they were intimidated by, as were many other teams, by the pace in which the Oilers once played at. But yeah, Anaheim wants to get up and down the ice. Patrick Verbeek has revamped this roster, particularly his forwards up front, to be based on speed and skill. And we've seen that talent emerge and be productive in this series. So I think that they want to continue to play it as fast as possible. Now, yeah, you're right. There's going to be times, in this series when they're going to need to maybe, play a more, or at least manage the game in a more of a slower fashion, than say, just trying to get, trying to go all out, over 60 minutes or whatsoever. I think that's one of the questions, particularly if we get down, into the third period or so, and, whether they're behind, whether they're ahead, whether they're able to manage the game, which I think they did certainly a better job of in game two, in being able to close that game out. But that is going to be something that we're going to watch for in this series is, can they be able to, play a varied game or even a slower pace game? Because I think you're right. I think that's what the Oilers would prefer to do in this instance.
Yeah. I would, hey, Edmonton, I'm sure they're happy with their 5-on-5 play. They've outscored the Ducks 4-2 in both games, 5-on-5. Special teams for Edmonton. Penalty kill has been a concern, and it's been up and down all year like a yo-yo. The power play at game one, I give Anaheim a lot of credit. They kind of thwarted Edmonton's zone entries, but that wasn't the case in game two. Edmonton, Dostal, that save on Draisaitl, because I rewatched every power play last night. That save on Draisaitl, I don't think Dostal gets enough credit on how hard of a save that was, how big of a blocker save that was when Draisaitl and McDavid unveiled that new wrinkle of them in the high slot crisscross, and then you go backdoor to Draisaitl for a one-timer. Your penalty killer, your goalie has to be your best penalty killer, and Dostal definitely was. Did Joe Quenneville address at all the ripping of the helmets off, the cost 2 penalty? I don't think I've ever seen 2 of them in a game, and I know that they've killed off 6, but you're the Anaheim Ducks, Eric. I don't think you want to be flirting with danger to say, oh, let's see if we can get another 4-game power play.
Yeah, no, yeah, we haven't really brought up specifically, like you said, the automatic penalties that come with, ripping off a helmet or whatsoever, certainly. But yeah, I think he would definitely would rather have, them, follow that game one script more of being able to limit Edmonton to 2 power plays there, and and visit it a couple of times. You're right. I mean, the way the Oilers are going to be able to get out of maybe their power play funk here whatsoever is to get more opportunities. And that's something that the Ducks definitely don't want to do. You don't want to just give them chance after chance after chance, because at some point it's going to get on track. There's just too much skill on that side, too many options to go to, even beyond McDavid and Draisaitl, to those options that can play off of those two, to where they're going to be successful at some point, maybe probably even tonight or whatsoever. So as long as they are able to stay, keep it to 3 penalties, 3 power plays or less, preferably less, then I think they'll certainly feel better about their chances. But you're right. They've got a good thing going right now, and confidence, is certainly, in their favor, because that was not a terribly strong penalty kill by Anaheim during the regular season, but they're playing it their best at the right time.
Eric Stevens joins us talking Anaheim Ducks. The Ducks, hey, their young players have stepped up. Gauthier was a little quiet in game 1 and then obviously responded in game 2. You're not going to be great every game. Connor McDavid even proves that. Leo Carlson has been fantastic. Beckett Seneke, Eric, you've watched him all year. Like, I've been surprised at he's got a real underlying greasiness to his game that I didn't really know until I watched him and I like it, but I'm like just subtly he is in the traffic and he's in the fight a lot.
No, you're right. You picked up on it exactly. And it's something that he's shown from day one. I mean, I remember seeing his NHL debut at the start of the year in Seattle. And he scored in that very first game. Where did he score his goal? Right at the net. And he's shown no fear into going into that area of the ice, in order to try to do some damage. Now, over the course of the year, he certainly has had his, terrific moments, even game-winning moments. He's had other times where he's looked like a 19-year-old rookie, whether it's, trying to do too much on the ice, maybe, turnovers, bad penalties or whatsoever, but he's always trying to create something. He's usually impactful one way or the other on the ice. And, I think that's, and in talking with people, that have coached him in the past, they say that's him. That's he does not he's not afraid to get his nose dirty, so to speak. And as you allude to it, there's some greasiness. There's a little. He's not Corey Perry. He's certainly not full on, but there's elements of him.
Yeah,
elements of that in his game.
And he's a big guy, man. Like those 3 forwards, those 3 specific, they got some size coming. And I really like the future of the Ducks, and even the present's pretty good as well. The one thing I spoke to Alex Killorn before game 2, and we did the interview, and he said, we didn't challenge their goalie enough in game 1. They only had 2-point shots. He goes, we didn't have any traffic. And you look at their first 2 goals were direct results of screens on longer shots. They hit a crossbar on another one. That's clearly the game plan, it looks like, for the Ducks now, is get pucks back to the blue line. You don't have to shoot bombs. Get them on net with traffic in front, and I probably expect them to crash the net even more tonight.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you know what? That's an area of the game that's been kind of an evolution, really at both ends in terms of playing in front of the net. Offensively, for Anaheim as well, because you're right. They have that size. They have that capability. I'm even surprised that Chris Kreider, who, he's built a career off of that, hasn't had any impact in that area, thus far. And it goes for defensively as well, because I think that, there's been so much been said about Anaheim's shaky defense whatsoever, and that's one of those areas, being able to protect the slot area in front of Dostal, so that he can be able to track and see shots. They've been doing a little bit better job at it, but in game 1 they obviously got hurt. With the goals that Edmonton scored, in order to win that game. So that's going to be an area of focus really at both ends for Anaheim in front of the net.
Erica, lastly, just, for the organization, the importance of this and them to get back to the playoffs for Anaheim. It's been a long time coming. They've been pretty patient in their rebuild. What kind of atmosphere are you expecting tonight in Anaheim?
I would think that it would be a pretty frenzied atmosphere. And it's interesting. I've been hearing from some readers whatsoever, and what and longtime season ticket holders, and what they've already mentioned is that they haven't had trouble selling out home games, home playoff games in the past. But what they've mentioned is that they've announced the sellouts well ahead of day of game. And so I think that kind of reflects the anticipation that fans are going to have for tonight's game here. Again, it's been 8 years, and the fan base has been very patient through this. But that said, everyone expected a move forward this year. The franchise, the owner, Henry Samueli, was talking, we want to be back in the playoffs. We want to be in this year. Well, mission accomplished there. And so, in some ways, I think particularly before the game and early on, this will be a little bit of a moment of celebration for the franchise.
Well, it should be fun, man. The atmosphere, I'm sure, Ducks fans are excited. Their team shut out McDavid 2 games in a row. That doesn't happen very often, and they'll go for the trifecta tonight. Should be a lot of fun. Appreciate it as always, Eric. Have a great day. Enjoy the game.
All right, Jason. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, my friend.
You betcha. That is Eric Siemens, longtime beat reporter for the Ducks, covers them for The Athletic. And, hey, they're excited in Anaheim, as they should be. You get the road split. That's what the Oilers want. Right? The Oilers want to come back, get a split minimum. Obviously, they'd love to win both, but get a split minimum. And then you have a chance. It's a best of 3, 2 home games. We'll see, kind of see what happens. But the Oilers tonight, they'll be looking to, I think, improve their defensive play. Obviously, you would like a little bit of more offensive output from McDavid and Bouchard. But if the other guys keep scoring, you don't need it. Which is weird, very weird to say, right? But I've always said offense is rarely ever been Edmonton's problem long term. Of course, for a game or 2, yes. But long term, no, it is not a problem. Quick break. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, live and on the rocks, Jasper Ave and 118th Street. We'll come back. We got stats of the day and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
I won't shave till we bring home the cup. And I like to do a shot for every playoff goal.
My jersey's not coming off until we're the city of champs again.
Want a playoff superstition that always wins? Pick up a bag of Wilhock beef jerky for every game. Because when it comes to the playoffs, where there's a Wilhock, there's a way.
Make every playoff game a Will Hockey game day with Wilhock beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't bring home the cup with salad.
An electrical solar team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy. Designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back, your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
It's playoff time, and we've got a lot to talk about. This is Andrew Walker on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. Tune in after every Edmonton playoff game for the Legacy Heating and Cooling postgame show. Visit the experts at legacyheating.ca.
Looking for a solid 4x4 that checks all the boxes? The 2026 Jeep Compass is in stock now at St. Albert Dodge, and this is a great value, starting from just $36,900. It's a Jeep, so you've got 4x4 capability, plus features like an 8.4-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, active lane management, a park view rear backup camera, and more. Over 30 in stock right now in just about every color you'd want. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Hey, it's Jamie from Green Drop Lawn Care. You've known and trusted us as Canada's lawn expert since 1979. In all that time, the only thing we've loved to watch grow and flourish more than your lawn is our community. You've given us so much over the years, and we love to give back. Our community events crew is on the streets, at the festivals, and helping grow great causes and charities across the city. We love knowing your lawn is taken care of, and we'll help take care of the community too. Visit greendrop.com, and we'll see you out there.
Canadian Tire's Big Spring Tire Sale is back. Save up to 25% on quality tire brands, including Continental, Michelin, Motomaster, and Pirelli until May 21st. Conditions apply. Details online.
Tim's Smile Cookie is almost here. And with every bite, you'll help make a difference close to home because 100% is donated to over 600 local charities and community groups. Buy your Tim's Smile Cookies April 27th to May 3rd at participating restaurants in Canada for a limited time.
Horses of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Looking for a tasty lunch? Papa John's has you covered. Get a small 2-topping pizza for only $9.99 with code S999 at papajohns.ca. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Grade 50, welcome back, Jason Gregor. Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. We're going to get to stats of the day and more. We got a lot of text flying in, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. But, Cons, I have to ask you about this story because I know you and Deck, you guys follow the NFL all the time. I'm sure you saw, like, they have the what they like to call the green room at the NFL draft. And so, players can sit in the green room, guys who think they're going to be drafted in the first round. And there was a few guys that did not get drafted in the first round. Caden McDonald, the defensive tackle from Iowa State, and University of Tennessee cornerback, Colton Hood. So now, of course, it's round 2 today. And you have the option to sit in the green room and then have your name called. So Caden McDonald's going to go. Hood decides he's not going to show up. So here's my question. Why? Why are you going? Was the goal to only be a first-round draft pick? Like, is the goal to be in the NFL? Like, to me, this just reeks of somebody who's like, well, I'm just going to show, like, what are you? This is my way to push back on you guys not drafting me. Like, it makes no sense. Right? And I've talked to so many agents. I've seen kids at the NHL draft every year, and it's a 7-round draft. And they sit in the crowd, and every year I've seen 4 to 5 kids who walk out of there without being drafted. And I'm always kind of like, I talk to agents, they're like, unless you're rated in the top 3 rounds, don't go, because it's a real, just because you're rated, that doesn't mean how the teams rank you. It's totally different. So what did you make of Hood? Did you think he was going to be a first rounder? Is it a surprise he dropped?
Well, and you talk about hockey, I just think of Aiden Park, was it last year at the draft, who was one of the best stories because he hung around and got selected right at the end by the Oilers in street clothes.
Yeah. Well, he went to support a buddy.
Yeah. He was selected. It was awesome. I didn't think he would. I mean, you look at the Tennessee team, and he was kind of the second corner that was expected to go off the board. Jermod McCoy was the other, but he tore his ACL and might still need surgery. That's the only reason he's around still. So I was kind of surprised, actually, Gregor, to see that he was made that decision to go. Like, I think top I saw him ranked was 31, so kind of a fringe player. And you think about it, in the NFL draft, round 1 especially, like, a lot of teams towards the end will make that draft for need and not necessarily best player available. So those guys follow it all the time. On the flip side, though, I did think Cade McDonald could sneak into the first, being a defensive tackle, if the run had gone on them. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of with you. Like, I understand maybe you got some bad advice from your agent and people thought, you could go late in the first round. But once you make that commitment, you might as well hang around. Why not take it in, still get selected, have your moment, and, go out in front of the fans? So he's probably going to, almost guarantee he's going to be selected tonight.
Yeah, you would think so. I'm not sure what the message is you're sending. I'm upset. Well, be upset. But you can still be an adult and how you're upset. Like, I don't get you fly all the way there, and now you're not going to have the moment just to take a phone call. Hey, and then pretend like you're not excited. Oh, it was a first rounder. Now, if you want to be Michael Jordan and I took that personally, then great. Take it personally. But it just seems like an odd decision to me. But I read rankings. I never even saw the guy's name anywhere. So I'm like, dude, you have no one to blame but yourself. Because because you think you're a first rounder doesn't mean you are a first rounder. Right? It's like, hey, I think my car is worth $20,000. It's only worth what someone's willing to pay you. Now, maybe you'll never sell it because you think it's worth $20,000. Hey, I'm a first rounder. Well, the difference is it's out of your hands. You can think, you should all think maybe, hey, I think I'm a good player. You have to have belief in yourself. But I just found that a little, I would say to everybody out there, there's going to be the draft again this year. Going to be more kids there again. Great. But stay at home unless you're like a for sure. And even top 100, I've seen guys top 100 Cons who don't get drafted because remember, the public models aren't the team. right? That's what a lot of the when they say we have conversations, you think teams are telling you exactly where they plan on drafting every player? Like, give me a break. It's not happening, right? So now a lot of these analysts do their own stuff, and that's awesome. But how you view a player doesn't mean it's the same as how others view a player. Heck, it happens in the NHL all the time, right? You see teams, the Tampa Bay Lightning, at one point in the draft, thought Slater Cuckoo was going to be a better player than Vasilevsky. That's why they drafted him 10th. They got Vasilevsky 19th. It happens. And they're a good drafting team. So, happens all the time. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Greg's, any idea if the outdoor is going on tonight? I will double check, but I'm pretty confident I'm going to say no. But I will send you a text to get 100% confirmation on that. But I'm pretty certain it's a no. Like, I'll say I'm like McDavid 97% certain that it's a no. So we'll see. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, boys, I have to say, articles about shutting down McDavid is insane. People are writing articles about it. Now, I'll give Tim Washy credit. He's a rookie with 39 games played, and he has played 11 minutes, the most of any Ducks forward, head-to-head 5-on-5 against McDavid. I got to give him credit. Now, if I'm Chris Knobloch or if I'm Connor McDavid, and you're going to keep giving me that matchup, sign me up. Sign me up. I'll take it all day long. So good for him. It's a great story. But I don't know if I'd be writing articles suggesting like this is, the story is it's worked for 2 games. I don't know if I would go in depth on it. I went more in depth on the power play. Why, like 0 for 6 isn't a big deal. The Oilers have gone 0 for 6 for numerous stretches this season. But then they'll go 3 for 3. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, now they're 33% again because they're 3 for 9. Not saying they'll be 3 for 3 tonight, but if the Oilers get 4 power plays again tonight, like they did in game 2, and how their zone entries were 100%, and how many really good looks they had against a team that has not been a great penalty killing team all year long, I'd be pretty confident the Oilers would get at least 1 power play goal tonight. So their power plays being too good for too long, and it had lots of really good looks. Go back and watch where Bouchard's one-timers came from. You're going to give him that many one-timers about 10 feet outside the top of the circles, right in the middle of the ice? You'll take that all day. That Draisaitl play with him and McDavid, or the Draisaitl to Hyman where he's wide open in the high slot. That's a new wrinkle we've never seen before. This group is always finding different ways, because the one thing the Ducks do on their penalty kill, watch, they're pretty aggressive up top. And so that's what the Oilers did on that one play. Maybe you remember it, maybe you don't. They came in on the zone entry. McDavid comes in on the right side, dumps it off to Draisaitl. He was on the right boards. Now, usually Draisaitl will skate down the wall and McDavid will go into the corner. That's usually what you do. But Draisaitl just stood still about 4.5, 5 feet inside the blue line. And the Ducks, one forward from across and one guy down low, both converged to him. And what Draisaitl did? He just slid it between them. And who was there? Zach Hyman. Zach Hyman's never in the high slot. But there he was, wide open. Now, the pass came in, and Hyman just turned and one-timed it as it went on. I think when they watch that on replay, they're like, hey, if we get that play again, Zach's going to stop that puck, walk into an even better shooting area. So they've already found something that they think, maybe because of the Ducks' aggressiveness up high. So watch for Edmonton and what they do there. They'll still work it around. We saw them go cross crease twice. One time Nugent Hopkins went off his heel. The other time Hyman didn't get a stick. Oh, he got a stick on and went wide. So they feel that those plays are there. But they came up with 2 wrinkles I hadn't seen before. And they're always coming up with it. And a lot of it's the coach. They watch, okay, what's this team doing? And it's something very simple. Oh, look at this. They like to come up 2 or 3 feet higher than normal. Well, you know what that means? There'll be more space in the high slot. So maybe we'll fool them, because Zach Hyman, where does he go? He's usually down in front of the net all the time. Who would have thought that Zach Hyman would come in late and be the high guy at the top of the circle? And he was just inside the right circle, about 3 feet, just inside of it. It was a great play. But I think the next time they would likely Juan Hyman to catch that pass and then move in even better shooting angle. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Greg's, you know if Dickinson's playing? I do not on the road. Dickinson didn't. I'm not sure he's going to skate for a while here on non-game days, and even on the morning skate. So I think you'll probably see him in games. I wouldn't be surprised if they give him tonight off and then he plays Sunday. Now he could play both, but we all saw him aggravated in game 1. So it's still obviously hindering him somewhat. That was Monday. So he's had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all day Friday off. Maybe it'll be enough. But maybe they look and say, well, we give him to Sunday. That's almost a week. And I think now you can never say, oh, we can afford to lose a game in the playoffs. That's never your mentality. But it's 1-1. The Oilers, if they're down 0-2, I think it might be different. So my hunch is maybe he gets a few more days rest. We'll see. Let's take a quick break. Craig Button is going to join us in hour number 2. We got Cam Tate and the 2-minute warning. But first, we're going to get to the Con Man of Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. We're here for all your vehicle needs and more with their digital vehicle report. Don't just tell them what your car needs. Show them. Book your appointment today at fountaintire.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day, Oilers Ducks down in Anaheim. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. The series tied at a game apiece. Pre-game coverage coming your way with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and Landon Ferraro at 6. For those watching in town, the tailgate party in Ice District Plaza will be closed due to high winds. The road watch party inside Rogers Place in the heated tent in the fan park will open for 7 o'clock. Elsewhere, you got the Golden Knights in Mammoth meeting at 7:30, and at 5, Canadians taking on the Lightning in the Association. Celtics in Philly, Rockets, Lakers, and the Spurs up against the Portland Trailblazers. The Toronto Blue Jays picking up a weekend series with the Guardians in Toronto. First pitch, 5:07. Elsewhere, the Red Sox taking on the Orioles, Mets, Rockies. Twins get the Rays, Braves, Phillies, Angels, Royals. White Sox taking on the Nationals. Athletics at the Texas. Astros up against the Yankees, and the Mariners in St. Louis. In the BCHL, Crusaders in Brooks for Game 5 against the Bandits. That one tied at 2 games apiece. Puck drop at 7. And for the NFL, rounds 2 and 3 of the draft going at 5 o'clock from Pittsburgh. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll get to the stat of the day, ask 5 questions, and hear from NHL TSN analyst Craig Button. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440. Stingray Radio Station. CKJR. Broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries. Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Edmonton sports fans stay informed with Sports
Tire.
1440. Bring us. Listen to us on the AM dial. However you consume this radio station, thanks for listening.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry, it can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
A long weekend pit stop without a Toyota Prius plug-in hybrid can be hectic. But when you get a Prius plug-in hybrid during Red Tag days, you can take advantage of an estimated combined range of up to 962 kilometers and get there with fewer stops. Take advantage of Red Tag days on now. Eligible customers can receive up to $7,500 in rebates, including a $2,500 federal rebate on select 2026 Prius plug-in hybrid models. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Prairie Toyota dealer today.
Hey there, it's Brandon Douglas from Sports 1440. If you're tired of slow, unreliable internet connections like I am, check out Starlink. It's fast, reliable, even in bad weather, and even works for 4K streaming for movie nights, online gaming, and more. Growing up on the farm in the sticks of central Alberta, we tried everything to get reliable internet, but we're always left with buffering video and half-loaded websites. There's nothing worse than losing your connection while streaming the big game. I'm getting mine set up soon and can't wait. If you're ready for better internet, order online in 2 minutes at starlink.com/radio or call 1-800-GO-STARLINK.
Alberta runs on hard work and high performance. Titan Supply has the products, knowledge, and service to ensure that performance. Now, they're part of Benmore, a Canadian company delivering lifting and securement solutions across the country. From designing and manufacturing to delivering lifting slings, securement products, crane cable, and more. They're built to take on the toughest jobs. Titan Supply and Benmore, stronger together. Visit ben-mor.com.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Rated on gambling website.
Hey, we're halfway home on Friday. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Oh my God! Sorry, gotta get refocused here. So I'm in on the Rocks Day. I just look outside the street, Connor. There's a school bus going down Jasper Ave. I shouldn't laugh. It's Positive Friday. And they're like just weird timing. There's two idiots mooning people out of the bus. Oh my God. I don't know why I find that so funny. I just wasn't expecting it. Oh, that's like the scene from Slapshot. I was like, yeah, but the game's not in Edmonton tonight. Oh my God. Oh, somebody's having maybe getting started earlier. I don't know, but be careful if you're on Jasper right now. Who knows? Welcome back. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. I really don't know why I found it that funny, but it was unexpected. Caught me off guard. I didn't think I've seen a lot of things at OTR. I've never seen that. So first time for everything. All right. Is that Dr. Wang coming into work? Does he have a new ride? I'll have to find out. Who knows? We are on the Rocks, Jasper Ave, 118th Street. Your place to watch the game tonight. If you like to have fun with about 400 of your closest friends. And you get 69-cent wings. They play score and wing during the game. Somebody gets paid every time the Oilers score. And, hey, the last few games, there's a lot of people getting paid. So Friday night, could fire it up. And Pushing Ginger hits the stage at the conclusion of the game. Sick name for the band Pushing Ginger. Now, got a few gingers in the band. That I don't know. Can't confirm or deny it, but we shall see. We've got a load of text flying in, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, boys, I have to say, even though the Oilers are 1-1, I feel way more confident this year than I have in any other first round matchup. Maybe it's just because they're not playing the Kings. Well, what was it? Like 2022, yeah, like the Oilers, well, they won in 5. No, that was 7. It was 2024, they won in 5. Should have been pretty confident then. But I get, like, the Oilers are 1-1. Like, there's really no reason to panic. I think you have to respect the Ducks and be like, you know what? The Oilers got to play better. Fair. But I don't think you're looking and saying, oh, my God, like, the Oilers are going to need a miracle to win this. Like, I'm sorry, but I've seen that. Last year's Stanley Cup final, that was that. And it really, even then, it was 2-2 after 4 games. It was just game 5 where you're just like, what happened? Like the game 5 one, that's the one that's not great. So, but we'll see. Hey, guys, I'm not worried about McDavid or the Power. What worries me is how many goals we're going to let in. Thoughts? Well, yeah. Hey, you're giving up 10 goals. It's not ideal. So, yes. Edmonton, considering how well they played defensively in the 10 games leading up to the playoffs, I would like to think that they could sort out their defense. And it's got to be everybody. You know, goaltending, defense, they need to be better. Now, let's get to the stats of the day, brought to you by All Star Construction. Since 2009, they become number 1 in their space with a land development gas installation contract where they do gas, telecommunication, power, street lighting, and more. That is All Star Construction. As the Edmonton Oilers into Anaheim, they are tied 1 game apiece. The Edmonton Oilers, as we've mentioned, the last few years, the Oilers have been they've been pretty good when they're on the road. Historically, like if you're a fan of the of history, teams that are 1-1, like it's pretty close actually. Like that's why Game 3 is pretty pivotal. So here's the stats. So in the total history of the NHL, in series that are tied 1-1, and obviously you can't include this year because none of the series are over yet. These are only 7-game series. Tied 1-1, the record is 369 wins, 369 losses. The difference is teams who start at home are 203 and 166. So 55% chance to 45% chance. But here's where now you win Game 3. That's why it's so pivotal. If you win Game 3 and you're a team that starts at home, now it jumps up to 74%. That's a 20% increase. And this is over the history of the Game 7s in National Hockey League playoff history. That's why when people say Game 3 is so pivotal, that's why. It just changes a lot. And especially if you're the team who starts at home, which is the Edmonton Oilers. So we'll see what they do tonight. Lineup changes for Edmonton. The only one maybe is Dickinson if he comes back in for Lazar. That's it. The lines, basically what they finished with last game. Nugent Hopkins with McDavid and Hyman. Draisaitl's line stays the same with Paul Coles and Kapanen. Szymanski's going to center Savoy and Roslovic. And then you have Lazar with Frederick and Doc. If Dickinson plays, he'll likely slide in for Curtis Lazar. The Edmonton Oilers are 0-4 on the power play in 2 games. It's caused some people to make some rather odd suggestions in my eyes that, they figured out the power play. Like, come on, man. That's, you know what that's akin to, Cons? It's like someone who goes on 2 dates and comes home and tells you that I'm going to marry this person. Now, I know it's happened, right? But I'm in love with you, 2 dates. You'd be like, that may be a tad early, a little bit premature. Not saying it's not impossible, but usually, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've ever had anybody tell me that they knew on 2 dates that they were in love forever and that'd be the forever person. I'm sure there's somebody out there. Now, you might have said it later and the story becomes better because it seems romantic, but I'm pretty sure that's an outlier. All right? All depends, I guess, how long your dates are and what you're doing on your dates. If one of your dates is a movie, it's kind of hard to know. I love this person. We have the same taste in movies. Is that enough to build a long-term relationship on? Maybe. Guess if you really love movies, it might be. But I would pump the brakes on suggesting that the Anaheim Ducks have solved the power play of the Edmonton Oilers. Now, the Edmonton Oilers come in tonight. Only Anaheim, Vegas, and Utah have had fewer power plays. Ducks, Vegas, and Utah have all had 5. So think about it. Those two series are the least penalized series in the playoffs, with a combined 11 for Edmonton and Anaheim and 10 for Vegas and Utah. So, not getting a ton of power plays. Right? The Oilers had 4 last game, which is a good last game, 2 the game before. But compared to a lot of these other teams, it's not really close. Like you look at Dallas is at 5.67, Minnesota's at 5. And I always find it interesting that sometimes it's like 2 teams in the same series and magically they're all getting power plays. Now, it's not always the case. Ottawa's at 4 per game. Carolina's at 3.3, so pretty close. Tampa Bay is at 4. Montreal is at 4.5. Fair amount of power players there. But the Oilers, of course, at 3, and the Ducks are at 2.5. If I'm Edmonton and I can draw 4 penalties tonight, I'm really liking my chances of at least 1 power play goal. The Oilers had 9 power play shots last game. That's a really good shot rate per 60. In the regular season, the Oilers had the highest shots per 60 in the National Hockey League on the power play. They didn't have the most power play, so that's why you do it per 60, because the Oilers, they didn't draw a ton of penalties. But when they're on the power play, they get a lot of shots. And that's what they did last game. They created some really good looks, and they missed the net on 2 of their best chances. Nugent Hopkins on that backhand, and Bouchard on his one-timer right down the pipe. They get those looks more often than not, they're going in. I wouldn't be that concerned about it. Penalty kill, different story. The Oilers have allowed 3 goals in the penalty kill. Now, 2 of them came with Nurse in the penalty box. Nurse and Murphy were very good down the stretch in the penalty kill. I didn't like Nurse's penalty in game 1. I didn't have a problem with his penalty in game 2. I didn't actually think it was a penalty. But it's clear his value to the penalty kill is way better when he's on the ice than off the ice. So find a way to play aggressive, but stay on the ice. Because him and Murphy down the stretch on the penalty kill were pretty darn good. The bigger concern is up front, who's going to penalty kill. Savoy for sure is in. Savansky's in. Nugent Hopkins, probably McDavid. I don't care if Dickinson's on it or not. Kasperi Kapanen's been killing penalties. Get him in there. I don't need McDavid as one of my top 4. If McDavid's in my 3rd penalty kill unit, no problem. Now, I get the coach's philosophy is guys have been working in pairs. Savoy and Henrique were a pair together, but guess what? They're not a pair together now, and he's still out there. So you can switch another one. Kapanen's decent penalty killer. Get him involved. I have no problem, and I know McDavid's numbers were good. And if it's only 2 power plays in the game, then maybe I'm worried about something that's irrelevant because he's going to kill penalty for a grand total of a minute 10 in a game, whatever. And I know that when he's on, A, doesn't give up many goals, but B, it puts the opposition a little bit more leery of not giving up an on-man rush or even a one-on-one rush against the most dangerous offensive player in the league. And I know he's had 2 games without points. The Ducks aren't stupid. The only people suggesting McDavid's done are online trolls, right? Oh, they've solved the McDavid Rubik's Cube. Okay. Other stats to get to. It's not looking good if you are Ottawa, LA, or Pittsburgh. Teams who trail 3-0 have come back to win 1.9% of the time. 4 out of 213 series all time when someone was down 3-0. And teams who started on the road, which are the Kings, which are the Senators, they are 57-1. So I guess if you had to pick a team out of the 3 that have the best odds, going off odds, I'd say Pittsburgh. But the way they played, I wouldn't pick them. I'm going to pick any of these teams. If you had to pick one to even win a game, that would probably be a better conversation. But if you have any of those guys in your hockey draft, prepare yourself. They are probably out by the weekend or at earliest on Monday. So It's unfortunate, but that's how it goes. Pens will play tomorrow. The Edmonton Oilers, some other stats that I think are intriguing to look at for Edmonton. I've mentioned that line of Draisaitl, Kapanen, and Podkolzin. They've combined for 10 points in 2 games. They've been really good together. Keep them rolling. Up front, Kasperi Kapanen leading the Oilers in shots on goal with 9 through the first 2 games. Hyman and McDavid follow with 7. Nurse and Savoy are at 6. Meanwhile, the Ducks, Carlson, of course, he had 10 shots in the opening game. He had 4 in game 2. He's had 14 shots. Seneca's at 6. Killorn, Terry, and Cutter Gauthier at 5. Their defense, they did get a few more shots in game 2. Jackson Lacombe has 3. Trouba has 2, including a goal. And Drew Hellenson and Minchikov each have 1. The Ducks, ice time, spread out a bit up front, not on the back end. Trouba, Lacombe, 25 minutes each. John Carlson's at 24. Then Minchikov's at 21:30. You got to go all the way down the list to Tyson Hines, played 11 minutes a game, and Helleson, he played 7:52. They kind of basically played 5 D-men, and that's something to follow. Is it going to be too taxing? If you're the Edmonton Oilers, I want to try to pound those guys in their top 4 as much as possible. They're all playing a lot, and these have been regulation games. You get to overtime, it's going to be even more. But they are relying pretty heavily on their top 4. Meanwhile, on the Edmonton Oilers side, obviously Evan Bouchard leads the way for the Edmonton Oilers. He's at 26 minutes. Then Ekholm's at 21. Nurse is at 20, 48. You have Connor Murphy at 19:55. Jake Wallman at 15 and a half minutes. And Emberson is logging about 10 and a half minutes. So the number 5 on Anaheim's playing about as much as the number 6 on Edmonton. And if it's a long series, that could come into play a little bit later on. Forward minutes, I know people looking, McDavid's playing too much. Those guys, they always play a lot of minutes. Now, when you're trailing for as much as the Oilers trailed last game, that's going to increase the minutes. If the Oilers can get a lead, now they had a lead in the first period, they saw it evaporate very quick in the second. And that's the other one. The Edmonton Oilers need to be infinitely better in the long change. It's been killing them. It's not even close. Look at the Oilers. 6 goals against in 2 games in the second period. They've only allowed 1 in the third, 1 in the first and 2 in the third. So they've allowed the most goals in the playoffs in the second period. In the first, they're tied for fourth with a lot of teams. Pittsburgh, Boston, Carolina, and Colorado have yet to allow a first period goal. What's crazy about the Bruins? The Bruins, listen to this. They allowed 0 goals in the first period, 1 goal in the second period, but they've allowed 8 goals in the third. Buffalo has dominated them in the third period. It's crushed them. So the Ducks, meanwhile, Edmonton scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third. It's been pretty even. But the Oilers have to find a way. If you get a lead in that first period, you know the Ducks, they don't sit back. They're a very good team that comes from behind. Oilers need to take advantage if they get a lead tonight and play a little bit more patient with the lead and force Anaheim to really take risks so you can take the lead rather than allow them to get back in the game. So we got a lot of texts. Thank you for all those who sent me the video of Slapshot. Yes, it's classic. It is a classic. The mooning on the bus just made me laugh. Oh, man, I needed that on a positive Friday. Any of the mooners out there? And I do. Hey, guys, you know what? I really think, Gregor, it's a lost art. We don't see people mooning as much anymore. It is true. Cons, you ever remember the last time someone mooned you?
No, I don't remember at all. Now, Gregor, I live a sheltered life these days, but even before that, I don't recall the last time I was mooned. Maybe like 10 plus years ago.
Yeah.
You got that one friend. It's like their go-to move.
Thankfully, no.
No?
No, I don't have that guy.
Well,
and none of my friends don't get the idea. It's like, no, I don't need to do it now. But I will say, Connor, it's been a grand total of about 10 minutes since not that they were mooning me per se. It was like a drive-by mooning.
Yeah.
That's really what it was. And I just happened to, kind of look out the window at the time, and that's why I couldn't barely control myself. So my apologies. It was kind of unprofessional, but kind of funny. So there you go. We'll come back. Craig Butt. Butt's been mooned lately. He's a pickleball guy. Like, lots happens on the pickleball court, Connor. I'm not ruling it out. They get pretty serious. Maybe something went wrong. You get upset. Boom. Moon job. We'll find out next. It's Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca live and on the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th, your place to watch the game tonight.
Great news for your weekend project. CFI, that's Custom Floors Inc., is now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 till 2. Get top quality Canadian products from Beaulieu with the convenience you need. For your free estimate, visit CFI at customfloorsinc.ca.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact, because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
For over 50 years, The Brick has been proudly serving Canada. They love to save you more on everything you need for your home. Save up to 60% off made-in-Canada sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Find patio sets starting at just $99 and save up to 40% off mattresses. Plus, take 5 years to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses. Taxes and fees due at purchase, OAC. Visit a Brick near you for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
If you've got a smart speaker, get it to play Sports 1440.
And it doesn't matter when you listen, as we roll out the Sports Talk
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton's home for sports radio is Sports 1440.
Everything is going to be okay. Any business, regardless of size, can stumble occasionally. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. If your business is facing financial challenges, our team of chartered insolvency and restructuring professionals have corporate debt recovery solutions that work. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. Chances of a positive outcome increase if you engage Faber sooner rather than later.
Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And a deal later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
free McDonald's.
Now that's what I call
a double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value for a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL, helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at UL.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. UL.ca, your partners in power.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
428. Positive Friday continues on. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. As always, we appreciate it. Give Deck a thumbs up on a Positive Friday. Maybe even hit the subscribe button. Make his day. It's good. Very simple. Costs you nothing to do something nice for someone else. So there you go. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Now, every time I come on a break, I got to check what's outside. You can never know. Like, life might be passing me by. I could be missing all sorts of things looking out the window here at OTR. So, right, maybe there'll be another drive-by mooning. Hopefully not, but you never know. Let's get to our In the Room, brought to you by Action Electrical. 4 divisions: project, service, testing, and residential. In testing, includes infrared and ultrasonic testing, arc, flash studies, and energized or de-energized.
You listen to Jason
of electrical systems. That's what they do at actionelectrical.net. As we are joined by Stanley Cup winning GM and scout, ace analyst and scout for TSN, Craig Button, joins us. Butts, we were just having a conversation. When was the last time someone mooned you?
Geez, that's a good question. I really can't recall. I can't recall. You know, I just can't. I really can't recall. I mean, I get mooned on social media all the time, but not in real life.
Not in real life. Yeah, well, you know, like the guy, it's like a lost art. I don't think it happens as much as it used. I thought maybe, you know, like I've seen some of those pickleball videos, Craig. Guys, you know, they're fighting over the net. I thought maybe just in one of the intense moments that someone would just drop a moon, that's their way of, you know, avoiding a physical confrontation, but getting their point across.
No, I don't play in pickleball matches like that. If people, it's funny, Jason, like, you know, we play in a good group. We got lots of good players and everything. And we're always open, like, you know, come into the group, try to play. There's always some different levels that we play. And it's amazing to watch how you can see that, you know, it's a fun sport. You know, you're out there not only to participate, but also for social purposes. And I'm amazed sometimes of watching people, like, they're going to serve to somebody really hard that they know can't return the serve. It's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, are you not paying attention? Are you not reading the room? But a lot of people don't. And usually those people end up on the outside of our group. They don't stay inside. So I don't have to worry about getting moved.
Love it. Well, it's like they're getting mooned out of the playoffs. The Sens, the Pens, and the Kings, they're all down 3-0. I want to start with the Senators, Craig, because when your starting goalie has a 2.02 goals against, a .930 save percentage, and he's 0-3, I know that there's lots of questions about goaltending going in, but that ain't the problem. Like, their inability to score is wild. I still can't believe Tim Stützle missed that in overtime in game 2. And then their 5-on-3 power play yesterday, Craig. Like, I'm like, are these novice kids? Like, they couldn't even get set up. It's wild how their offense is completely MIA in Ottawa right now.
Well, and 3.35 goals per game during the regular season, a top 10 team, a power play that was top 10. So you're looking at an offense, and we can look at the 5-on-3. And we can look at the overtime not finishing. But the bottom line is 3 goals in 3 games. The offense has gone AWOL. And the power play has sucked life out of their team because you get these types of opportunities. It gives you a chance. And it would be one thing if the power play was getting looks and getting chances and the goaltender was really playing strong. The Ottawa Senators have done a fantastic job of killing their power plays. They've killed their own power plays. And it's sucked life. And again, so you think about games. I mean, we're talking on the margins here. 1-goal games, right on the margins.
Yeah.
Carolina finds a way to get goals. Ottawa doesn't. Ottawa's on the precipice. And, you know, it's tough enough to beat a Carolina team 4 out of 7. Impossible to beat them 4 straight.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. I think it's good night, Irene, for them. The Taylor Hall line for Carolina, though, is absolutely crushing it. First of all, I guess, speaking of crushing it, what do you think of his hit on Sanderson?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it should have been a 5-minute major. I really do. He got the head, and, you know, we can debate whether it deserves supplemental discipline. I go back to this, is that I put the onus on the player delivering the hit, and he delivered a bad hit.
Yeah. Do you think it's suspendable?
Yeah, I mean, it's debatable. Sanderson's out, and he made the head the principal point of contact. So again, like you can find ways to say it's not suspendable. Maybe there's ways to say it is suspendable. I just don't like the hit. I don't like the play. I have no problem with physical play. I'm not telling anybody to not deliver good, solid body checks, that was anything but.
The Penguins down 3-0. And I know I've seen a lot. Oh man, I've never seen them play this bad. And that might be true, but I actually think it's more on the Flyers and what they're doing, Craig. Like the Flyers have played really well in that series.
They've been in playoff form for just about 30 games now, Jason. You know, they finished the season, I think they're 18-6-2, and now they're 3-0 in the playoffs. And so they came into the playoffs playing at a level of intensity, a level of execution, a level of details that were really, really high end. And quite frankly, the Pittsburgh Penguins have been obliterated. Like, it hasn't been close. It has not been close in any way, shape, or form. I mean, Pittsburgh got 2 power play goals in Game 3. And if it wasn't for Stuart Skinner in Games 1 and 2, they would have been blown right out of the arena there. A couple of, close games that appeared like that on the score sheet weren't close. So you're watching a team that's been in playoff form against a team that has not been able to come anywhere near the intensity level, the competitive detail level that the Flyers have thrown at them. And, it's interesting when you think about the season the Penguins have had, and Kyle Dubas has done a really nice job, getting some younger players in there, getting some prospects, getting some draft picks, trying to retool it. But, you go out the way and they're going out. Maybe they find a way to win Game 4. There's nothing that's indicated to me that they have a chance to win a game in this series based on how they played and how well Philadelphia's played. But it may make for a different calculation for Kyle Dubas with respect to some of those players. Chris Letang did not have a great regular season. He's really struggled here in the playoffs. You're playing him 22 minutes a game. That can't keep happening. What's going to happen with Malkin? You start to think about Ovechkin in Washington. Different role, different situation. Is that what you want? Is that what Evgeny wants? But there's some real decisions to be made in Pittsburgh, and I think they get exacerbated after what's happened here in this playoff series versus the Flyers.
Yeah. Well, not many people thought they'd be a playoff team this year, Craig, and they're kind of playing like that team right now. But I do give Philadelphia credit. Give me your thoughts on Martone and just. It's not easy to do what he's done at his age, to just step into the NHL late in the season, 19, point-a-game guy, and then come to the playoffs and be great. And, man, I got a chuckle out of him and Kindle at the end of the game, last game. Give Kindle credit, man. He didn't it was like a little Bantam rooster. Didn't want to go away.
Yeah, and you're right. Ben is 18 years old, giving away a little bit there. So I'm looking at Porter in a different light. Dominant player in junior hockey. Can't play, not ready for the NHL or not deemed ready for the NHL at the beginning of the year. Can't play in the American Hockey League. And he goes to Michigan State. So now what he gets is a chance to mature naturally. He gets to mature physically, like by working out during the week and getting stronger and getting ready. He gets to mature socially, being with people not only on his team but in the classroom that are in his same age group. And now March rolls along, Michigan State finishes, and to me, he's better prepared to come into the NHL. He's played against older players. He's played against stronger players. He's allowed his body, because Porter's going to play a game that's heavy and hard, and he wants to be involved. But if you don't have the strength, it becomes harder to do that. And what becomes even harder is to maintain some confidence in that. So now he comes there and he's more than ready, and you see that. And we're going to see a lot of players that are in the same boat as Porter Martone. Dominated junior hockey, might need the next step, not ready for the NHL. I think in the vast majority of cases, the American Hockey League is not the right answer for them. Playing 72 games or 74 games in the American Hockey League doesn't allow you to work on the strength and the physical maturity. It also puts you in a different social maturity level where you're trying to fit in with different groups, different age groups, teammates with families and different goals and everything. So I think Porter Martone is a poster player for taking that intermediate step to the NCAA.
Greg Button from TSN joins us. Craig, Oilers and Ducks. It's 2 games in. I think there's some people really overreacting to Woodcroft and the Ducks have solved Connor McDavid. I think that is incredibly premature. McDavid had one of the oddest puck management games, like the worst puck management game of his career. There's no question that power play that he made that led to the shorthanded goal. Like that's like a play once in literally 11 years of his career. I've never seen anything close to that. How do you feel how he performs tonight?
Well, the one thing we know about Connor McDavid, you have a game where you don't play at your very best. And, you can go back to game one, and I thought Connor was solid in game one. Don't get me wrong here. But you go 2 games, and you're not generating points. You're not generating goals on the power play. Connor takes it personally. And we know how driven he is. You know how driven he is. And the best road power play in the NHL this past season was the Edmonton Oilers. So, they got that working for them. Leon Draisaitl coming back, trying to get his rhythm. And I know Connor talks about, well, we know what we got to do on the power play, but getting your rhythm back is an important part of success. And you got a team that's playing hard against you, that's a little bit quicker in terms of trying to shut you down, and you got to adapt to that. Am I worried about Connor McDavid? Not one bit. I'm more worried about the Oilers' up and down, in and out play. To me, the focus gets to be on the power play. The power play will take care of itself. But the way they played period 1 of game 1 was just simply outstanding. I'm watching, I'm going, this is it. Okay. They talked about what they got to do. And then the second period unfolds. You're going, what happened? And it hasn't been as bad as the second period in game 1, but it hasn't been better. They haven't got back to where they were at in that first period. We know with this Edmonton Oilers team, it, the players know it, that when they play a certain way, they have a lot better chance of success than when they play the other way. I think the biggest question is, how can they be this Jekyll and Hyde team when it comes to defensive play? Because that, to me, is the most puzzling part. It's not like they don't know. It's not like they need examples to show them. That they have more than enough examples, but it evaporates on them. And then it gets them into trouble, and then they're chasing games. And even though they tie it up 4-4 in that third period, I'm going, okay, this is typical Edmonton. They didn't play great. They fall behind. They'll find a way to win here. And they didn't. And I think that now is, I think if they would have won that game, that might have been one of those ones where it gave you a false sense of security. I don't think there's any false sense of security now for Edmonton. I think we could see a game in game 3 here with Edmonton and Anaheim, what we saw, not the last game in Utah, but the game before that, where Utah literally had nothing. And Edmonton just shut it down and said, we're not beating ourselves and you're not beating us either. And I think that we could see a game like that. And if you do see a game like that, that's the reason for optimism.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that wonder, the Oilers have proven that they can play a patient shutdown game. They've also proven that they can't. But Anaheim really hasn't done that. And, at some point, the whole part about playoffs is trying to make your opponent uncomfortable, right? Get them out of their game. And Anaheim, they got to play run and gun, right? That's their game. And so, yes, Edmonton can play it. They've scored 8 goals, 5-5. We know they can play it. But, yeah, you're right. So, Craig, how do you instill to force the Ducks? Is it simply because Edmonton doesn't take chances? How do they get a more patient game that forces the Ducks to play patient?
It's funny because I was saying this on XM radio today. If I was Chris Knobloch, I might just show them clips of the LA-Colorado series and just say, this is a high-powered offense. And watch how they're playing defense. And just watch how they just keep playing the game, 0-0, 1-1, whatever it is. And what the Colorado Avalanche have done is said, we're not giving you anything. You want to earn something against us, go right ahead. And we're going to wait for our chances and we're going to wait for our time. So we know that the Edmonton Oilers can score. It's not about scoring for the Edmonton Oilers. It's about defending. It's about being committed to defending. And I think that, listen, I think if they could win a 2-1 game or a 3-2 game, that would be really good. Because if you win a 2-1 game, you not only take away what makes the Anaheim Ducks really good, which is their offense and their kind of carefree approach and with the youth they have, but it also shows you defensively that, hey, we're going to get comfortable in this type of game. Don't force it. Don't rush it. I think that is the template, Jason.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. And lastly, give me your thoughts on that Utah-Vegas series. Kind of a strange one now because they only play one game in 5 days. They had 2 days off. They played tonight, then 2 days off. They don't play again until Monday. But, there's been a little animosity, which was nice. Pushed back by Utah. Their speed has been on display, and really that Cooley, Gunther, Yamamoto line right now has been hard for Vegas to handle.
Well, the speed, and it's not just the speed, it's their approach. I mean, Logan Cooley has basically said, I'm here to win. We know how good Vegas is. We don't care. He's gotten under their skin. You're seeing Braden McNabb go after him, and Logan Cooley goes, I'm coming back next shift. Like, are you going to be here? Because I'm going to be here. And that's what playoff hockey's about. It's about, you might get knocked down, get yourself back up and get playing. And this Utah Mammoth team has confidence. Like, Vegas is a team that I think is they play well. They obviously have lots of experience on their side, but the foot speed and how the Utah Mammoths are trying to push the pace on them, that's a template. That to me is how you try to take it to the Vegas Golden Knights. And you also take it to them by, I say this, you can respect your opponent, but you get right in their grill. You don't have to defer to them. You don't have to say how great they are. You don't have to ask for their autographs. You can get right after them. And that's what Utah has done. And I think that now is where we'll see if Vegas can handle that, because it's going to be raucous in Salt Lake City with that home crowd.
Greg, should be fun, man. Playoffs are great. I can't wait for the weekend. 3 games tonight. That Montreal-Tampa series has been awesome. Hopefully they just get rid of the endless wrestling matches. That could go by the wayside, but everything else I've loved it. Should be a lot of fun. Enjoy it, and we will chat with you next Friday.
Thank you, Jason.
That is Craig Button from TSN. Come back. We got 5 questions, and we got Spec joining us from Anaheim. We got LT, Cam Tate, and more in a busy final hour and 15 minutes of a Positive Friday edition of the Jason Gregor Show, live and on the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play.
Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
At Booster Juice, doing good tastes really good too. From now until April 26th, every purchase of a Mood Booster Ball will help support the Community Booster Fund. So while you're enjoying a Mood Booster Ball made with caramel, marshmallows, and peanut butter, you're also supporting athletics, community, and educational initiatives across Canada. Let's fuel healthy communities together. For more information, please visit boosterjuice.com. Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Would you like to be a part of history for the month of April? I'm kidding. Or as the kids say, bro, I'm joking. Would you like to help us set a record in April? Chill. Still kidding. At Northgate, we aren't trying to set any records or tell you how many vehicles we sell, and we really don't think you'd care. But what you will care about is this. Every dealer has the same costs. Trust me, GM does not have a favorite kid. You get to decide where you buy. 0% financing, a great selection, and of course, great people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Mr. Rooter sees a UFO.
Mr. Rooter says 1 plunge, 2. What's this? A UFO? An unidentified floating object. It's beginning to glow and levitate.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter. You have freed us from the gravity of the white hole. Humanity will be spared.
Wow! People aren't going to believe this when I put it in our new commercial.
If you want to believe in a plumber, call Mr. Rooter.
Sleep is for the off-season. What off-season? Sports 1440 is live, loud, and locked 24/7. Oilers, Elks, Riverhawks, Stingers, Oil Kings. We've got your fix. Edmonton's home for sports is Sports 1440.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep, and yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
When life unexpectedly changes, it can leave us feeling unbalanced, uncertain, and unsure of how to move forward. But you don't have to go through it alone. I'm Corey Anderson with Fairway Divorce Solutions. Our team helps reestablish balance, guiding you through your divorce with compassion, clarity, and support. Fairway has helped more than 6,500 families across Canada find a path towards a peaceful, fair resolution. With 2 offices in Edmonton, we're here to make your journey easier. Discover your options at Fairway Divorce.
What is this? A mowing giant sale sign. It's for Canadian Tire's spring big red sale. I think they meant like big savings, not this.
Save up to 50% at Canadian Tire's spring big red sale, April 23rd to 30th. Exclusions apply. Details online.
Welcome back to Nissan Head to Head. Today, we've got the Nissan Rogue Platinum showing up with an unbelievable estimated highway range of up to 800 kilometers per tank. Some of the other guys are stepping up now with yet another fuel stop. Some wins are really obvious.
Right now, finance a Nissan Rogue Platinum for 0% for 60 months. Visit Nissan.ca for details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Hey there, it's Brandon Douglas from Sports 1440. If you're tired of slow, unreliable internet connections like I am, check out Starlink. It's fast, reliable, even in bad weather, and even works for 4K streaming for movie nights, online gaming, and more. Growing up on the farm in the sticks of Central Alberta, we tried everything to get reliable internet, but we're always left with buffering video and half-loaded websites. There's nothing worse than losing your connection while streaming the big game. I'm getting mine set up soon and can't wait. If you're ready for better internet, order online in 2 minutes at starlink.com/radio or call 1-800-GO-STARLINK.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Athleticare. Injuries don't wait, and neither should you. 01 Athleticare offers one-stop access to doctors, x-rays, and casting. It's expert musculoskeletal care covered by Alberta Health, right in West Edmonton Mall. Move from injury to recovery. Book now at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday continues on. Hope you have big plans for the weekend. Put a smile on your face. Take a moment, think whatever's good in your life, put a smile and say good. You know what? Hey, hopefully if you're having a rough week, tonight you will do something that is going to make you smile. Maybe it's watching the Oilers game. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're like, I'm too stressed. I can't do it. Watch something else. Whatever it is, enjoy it. Hope it makes you kick off the weekend in a positive frame of mind. Jason Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where Lotto Max tonight. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. 50 million and 2 Max Millions. And while you're there, check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boost for you. We got 3 different options on the Oilers game tonight. Oilers win. McDavid gets some points. McDavid gets some shots. Lots of options. So check it out at PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to 5 questions now, brought to you by The Brick. For over 50 years, The Brick has been proudly serving Canada. And right now you can save 60% off Canadian-made sofas. You buy the matching love seater chair at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1 is we're a few hours away from puck drop in Anaheim. Let's get a game prediction and throw in a bold prediction as well for game 3.
Go ahead.
I think the Oilers find a way to get the win here. I've been talking it around the Stingray office all day. Connor McDavid's going to have a 3-point night and bounce back. With that, Evan Bouchard gets 2 points, one of which on the power play, and the power play gets going. Oilers have to score goals in this situation, so 6-3 Oilers win.
6-3. Ooh, Conman going with some offense.
Point night.
Right. It's hard to get a sense here, the Oilers right now. I think it'll be an unexpected, low-scoring 3-2 overtime win for Edmonton.
Good stress on a Friday night. Do you have a bold prediction as well? Or is that the bold prediction?
Overtime bold. No, my bold prediction will be that Szymanski gets a point for the second game in a row.
All right. Question number 2. There's multiple to choose from, but if you have one, what is the key to victory for the Oil?
Wow. I'm not going to go with the low-hanging fruit. So to me, the key to victory for them Oilers tonight is to play a much more consistent defensive effort.
Was your low-hanging fruit special teams?
No, it was McDavid gets points.
That's a good one. Yeah. I'll take special teams then. At the very least, don't allow shorties. That probably goes a long way. Question number 3 for you. Last night, it was round 1 of the NFL draft. Did you have a favorite pick?
Go ahead.
I had a couple. I'll just say I liked Peter Woods out of Clemson to the Chiefs at 29, but I think my favorite pick would have been number 11, Caleb Downs, the safety out of Ohio State. I've heard the slander on the safety position, but in today's game, if you can play the slot, if you can line up over a tight end, your value is worth the weight in gold. So Caleb Downs to the Cowboys at 11, I really liked.
Why?
Just because of the versatility. I mean, like I said, like if you put him on the slot, we know a lot of guys get out there to put him over the tight end. If you've got just that versatility, obviously you can drop back a little bit, but you just move them around kind of like a chess piece. So, we've seen it with Kyle Hamilton, Derwin James, Minka Fitzpatrick, Emin Wari to Seattle last year was a second-round pick, I believe. I just think that the safety position, like if you have an athlete that you can move around, they're just such a valuable piece.
Well, Cons, I'm going to stick with it because I went all in on him. So I'm going to go with the Jets taking Kenyon Sadiq at 16th. The problem is it's the Jets.
Yeah.
But I like the pick. Hey, the Buffalo Sabres turned it around. Maybe, just maybe the Jets can follow suit. Dare to dream. But the Jets actually had a pretty good day of drafting. If you like their draft picks, right? From Cooper Jr. to, of course, Sadiq. So they get a tight end, they get a receiver, and they get the edge rusher from Texas Tech, Bailey. So not bad. They had to give up some players, but they got some young guys here that should help them. I just don't know if they're good enough. Until I see the Jets win, I just can never say the Jets are going to win.
And it's actually not the worst thing to be bad for another year. Get another quarterback and then bring him into a room with Cooper and Garrett Wilson. You'd have Mason Taylor at tight end on top of Kenyon Sadiq. Some nice weapons to use. So, yeah, I don't mind that pick either. Question number 4 for you. Akeem Messidor was selected by the Chargers with the first overall pick. He's also Canadian, so there was some talk a long time that he could be drafted in the CFL as well. We saw Elik Aomar last year as a 4th-round pick, wasn't drafted in the CFL. When you have a guy who's highly touted in the NFL but Canadian, is he on your draft board, or do you kind of throw it away and just not worry about it?
Well, not if he's definitely not. I think anybody in the top 3, no chance. I wouldn't. And I shouldn't say that. Would I take a flyer on him late? Sure. But I'm not taking him in the first few rounds. No chance, right? Because your odds of him ever coming are extremely low. Take him late in a flyer. Well, that's, whatever. It's 7th-round picks a lot of times can be a little bit of a, in the CFL. The NFL is a little different, but even in the NFL, there's not a ton of great 7th-rounders. There's a few, of course. But I wouldn't say he's off my draft board. He would just be way later.
I'm with you. If I get down and I'm picking in the 8th round, 100% I take one of those guys just in case. You never know what happens. It just doesn't work out. Things come up. And if you get a player like that to your team, I think it'd be obviously a massive addition. Final question for you. On this day a couple of years ago, it was the Coyotes at the time. The players go to Salt Lake City. They meet their new owner. They get a chance to take a look at the rink. So in honor of that, what are 3 pro teams that you would like to see relocate?
Oh.
And maybe like to see is the wrong word.
Yeah. Relocate. That's a good question. Well, now that Arizona's gone in the NHL, I can't think of a market where I look and say, man, you know what? It's been awful for a long time. If I could get a team, I would just like to see another team in Quebec City. I know it's highly, highly unlikely. So how about, I would like to see the Oakland A's relocate now just for the drama around it. Because now they're in Sacramento. Everybody's thinking they're going back. Oh, no, we're going back to Oakland. That'd be amazing.
I mean, I would love to see the LA Chargers relocate to San Diego. I think that would be a good move, although financial reasons would dictate that they probably don't. I guess I'd say since the Athletics already moved, maybe the Marlins. I'd change owners as well while you're at it. Go back to Montreal. Well, go to Montreal. And, I don't even know. I'll say the Chicago Bears just because they are relocating, kind of. They're building a new stadium. It's out of place, out of state in Indiana. But it just sucks because the only team left in the Bay Area that you would have been an easy pick here is actually doing quite well with the Warriors. So all the other teams in Oakland just up and left already.
Yeah, no, that is true. I could feel for cities who lose their team. Like even when the team stinks and they're bad, there's still something for fans that connects them and resonates for it. And like it sucked losing the Edmonton Rush for me personally. I love doing the games, but I thought it was really good for the lacrosse community. And if you look at registration for lacrosse, it's taking a huge hit. So, and there was lots of people who loved going to those games. Like they were fun. It was a lot of fun. Like sports should be fun. They were cost effective. It wasn't pricing you out. You didn't have to choose between food and going to a game. Of course, obviously you choose food every time. I understand it. But my point was it was very good entertainment. And you know what? And I know that they weren't in the city long enough and they weren't like beloved like a hockey team is. I get it. But it still impacts people. I could not imagine when you're in when Cleveland lost their team and then when St. Louis lost their team in the NFL and obviously Quebec and Winnipeg and these teams, like that's brutal, man. Like I wouldn't wish it on any. Even like the worst fan base, you're just like, God, I can't stand this team or their fans. I still wouldn't wish them on leaving because I think it's a big blow to a community's identity. Who likes it even when they're bad, they still want them to stay. So I hope none of it happens. But I always, I do wonder. And hey, maybe the money will never stop in sports because of the live entertainment, and there's just something raw and natural about it. But the high prices, like I just wonder at some point where it's like enough's enough. So we'll see. We got an hour to go. Positive Friday. It's been a great week. We'll return. Mark Spector will join us from Arizona, from Anaheim as the Oilers taking on the Ducks tonight. What do you think the chances are Dickinson plays? We'll get to that and more. But first, let's get to the Comment Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I know it's cold out, but guess what? They got the brand new Autoplex. If you're looking for a great car, you need to relieve some stress after a Friday night game. We'll head down this weekend to the Autoplex at NorthgateGM.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day, Oilers, Ducks, Game 3 in Anaheim. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, with pregame coverage coming your way at 6 for those looking to watch in our city. The tailgate party in Ice District will be closed tonight due to high winds. So you can go inside Rogers Place and watch, or the heated tent in the Fan Park, both opening at 7. Elsewhere, Golden Knights taking on the Mammoth and the Canadian up against the Lightning. Down gets going shortly in the association. Sixers and Celtics starting at 5. At 6, the Lakers are in Houston. Then at 8:30, it's the Trailblazers taking on the Spurs. Major League Baseball, Blue Jays in action, set to take on the Guardians in a couple minutes here. We've also got the Orioles and the Red Sox, Twins in Tampa. Royals up against the Angels. The Nationals take on the White Sox. Astros with the Yankees. Mariners in St. Louis, and the Cubbies get the Dodgers. NFL rounds 2 and 3 get going in a few minutes here in the BCHL. Crusaders in Brooks for Game 5 against the Bandits. That series tied at 2 games each. And from the CFL, the McDonald's signing American running back Rashawn Baker and American offensive lineman Cam Carter. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Alan Mitchell of the Lowdown Protod. We'll hear Cam Tate's 2-minute warning, and up next, joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one
Presented
fitting
by
and the
Alberta.
convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk
Presented
elevates
by
your style
Alberta.
game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Oodle Noodle origin.
In 1864,
At Northgate
Francis
G.
Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudel, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudel was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as
Oodle Noodle. At GS Construction, we're multitaskers. We've got lots of projects going on all around Edmonton and area. Different teams across the city working towards the same outcome. Installing today what will serve generations to come. It's a rewarding career and the work never stops. That's why GS Construction is always on the lookout for great people to join us. Right now, we're looking for experienced topmen, pipe layers, operators, and surveyors. So if you want to feel valued, empowered, and engaged in your work, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Shulman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
For over 50 years, The Brick has been proudly serving Canada. They love to save you more on everything you need for your home. Save up to 60% off made in Canada sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Find patio sets starting at just $99 and save up to 40% off mattresses. Plus, take 5 years to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses. Taxes and fees due at purchase, OAC. Visit a Brick near you for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting nonstop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Edmonton. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
We roll through. You get closer to Pause on Friday. Playoff hockey tonight. The Oilers and the Ducks are not expecting any lineup changes. Dickinson, game time decision, but Rumman's he's probably not going to be ready to go tonight. So we'll see. The Ducks going with the same lineup for sure. The Oilers are going to start the game with the lines that they finished last game. Nugent Hopkins with Hyman and McDavid. You have Draisaitl between Podkolzin and Kapanen. Szymanski flanked by Roslovic and Savoy. Lazar, Frederick, and Doc. D pairing's the same. Of course, Connor Ingham starts in goal for the Oilers. Game when the series is tied 1-1. It's been dead even all time in NHL history. 369 wins, 369 losses. It's kind of wild. It jumps up. Now, home teams who started home in that series at 1-1, they win 55% of the time when it's 1-1. But it jumps up to 75% if you go up 2-1. And that's like all time. We're talking in the history of Game 7s in the National Hockey League. So, now, 75% still means 25% chance you can lose. But it's a pretty big game. That's why a lot of people believe Game 3 is so pivotal. We'll see what happens tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. There's obviously some areas of their game that they would like to improve on, tighten up defensively, which would coincide with having a better penalty kill. Power play just needs to finish. I went back, went over every power play in Game 2. The Oilers are actually really good at doing everything but putting the puck in the net. And I know at this time of the year, that's what you want. But they will talk about progress. And after, 2 power plays where they had a little bit of trouble with zone entries in Game 1, zone entries are not a problem. The Oilers were 100% on zone entries in Game 2 against the Ducks. And they generated a few chances right off of it. They had a few new wrinkles that they've added. I've outlined it. If you want to see it word for word on every puck touch in the power play, you can check out my article today at OilersNation.com. We talked about it a little bit in hour number 1, and we'll do a little bit later on this hour. We are live and on the rocks, Jasper Ave and 118th, your place to watch the game. Man, it's already starting to fill up in here. I like it. It's Friday. Everyone's in a good mood. They got the jerseys on, coming in ready. You got 69-cent wings during the game. Also here, you play, score, and wing, and you get paid every time an Oiler scores. So, hey, they've been giving out a lot here lately with 8 goals so far. And Oilers would like to get 4 more, but maybe limit the Ducks a little bit tonight. It is the Gregor Show, as always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Get in the game, use the Gregor odds boost, save you, and get a little bit better odds. Now, let's go out to Anaheim for the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. And they are hiring. If you're looking for an opportunity for career growth, if you're pipe player, operator, top man, they got it all. gsconstruction.ca/careers. As Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us from, I'm assuming, sunny California. Spec, I know.
Yeah, looking out the window, it's still sunny for sure. It's nice weather here. A little bit nicer than back home, I hear.
Oh, it's snowing again. And the other thing, Spec, something I hadn't seen just by fluke, about an hour and a half or so ago, I looked out the window. There's a bus driving by. And some people were mooning. So, you know what? Tradition that I haven't seen in a long time. Spec was asking me, do you remember the last time someone mooned you?
Oh, boy. I remember getting mooned like as a kid when it was a thing. I can't remember the last time I got mooned by somebody, though.
It's been a while, buddy. It's been a while.
God,
I could barely talk. I was laughing so hard because
that's
it's
great.
Unexpected. It was hilarious. So, anyway, where do you come out on Dickinson? You're not expecting him to play tonight?
Not if he didn't skate today. I'd have a hard time thinking he hasn't skated for a while here now. So when you don't skate and you miss one skate, you can go back and play. When you start missing 2-3 skates in a row, now I got to see a skate before I think you're going to play. So if I had money to put down, I'd say he wouldn't play, but stranger things have happened, Jay. He was at the rink this morning. He was dressed in workout gear and, hanging around, looking like a hockey player, except for the part where he went on the ice, but he was there. And that's all I got for you. Is he going to play tonight? I'm not sure that everybody knows yet.
Yeah. We'll see. Regardless of who plays, Spec, the Oilers want to tighten it up defensively, no question. And let's start on the penalty kill because that's the main area. The penalty kill needs to get some stops here. And it's not like, Anaheim's had a ton of power plays and only had 5. Problem is it scored 3 goals.
Yeah, it's not just the penalty killers, it's a goaltender too. There's been a couple of long wrist shots going in from distance, obviously through screens and stuff that he hasn't seen, but he's got to figure out a way. Your best penalty killer is your goalie. We all know that. So everybody's got to pick it up 10% on that power, on that PK, and the goalie has to as well. I thought Ingram was only average in Game 2, and average isn't going to cut it here in Anaheim.
Connor McDavid, looking no worse for wear. You watched the morning skate. I know Knobloch said it's no issue, and I saw some short videos. It's only the video, but I saw after in the game, Spec, like he was flying. He had one shift where he's tentative, and then he was kind of like, okay, it's good. And we both saw him walking in and out of the room. To me, I think it was probably more, but it looked worse than it actually was. Thankfully.
Well, yeah, he's kind of a sprinter, and those sprinters, I remember covering track and field, man. The sprinters, when they weren't right, they couldn't run. And I'm not saying he can't play hurt, but when you operate at his level, when you skate the way he skates, an injury, it's a bigger deal than some guy who barely moves out there. So I get it. He twisted his leg kind of in a weird way in that Ekholm collision, and he had to feel it out. But the evidence we've seen is he's skating just fine. So it's I'm not telling you Connor McDavid owes his team a 4-point night, but he's their best player. And if they're going to win games, he's got to start to play like their best player a little more than he has the last 2 games. That's for sure. The power play is a good place to start. This team needs some scoring confidence here in the power play. And McDavid is usually in charge of making that happen, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, I went through every second of their power play in game 2, wrote about it to the Oilers Nation, and their power play did everything but score. They were 100% on zone entries. They brought in a new wrinkle on the zone entry because usually they have go back, Bouchard picks it up, right? McDavid circles behind and Bouchard drops at the blue line. McDavid comes up. Well, they did it different, 4 different occasions. Bouchard comes back. Draisaitl stands on the right side of the ice, regardless of which way you're going, right side of the ice, takes the pass. McDavid still girls low now. He comes flying up. Draisaitl hits him on the tape at the red line. Boom, they're in the zone. Worked every time. There was a few other times Draisaitl was the puck carrier into the zone. And then there was one where McDavid just on a quick up and out, he just came up the right side, picked up the puck, crossed over the ice. They came in, no problem on their zone entries. The only time they didn't stay in the zone for at least 30 seconds was when McDavid flew in, had time, and then he just missed the pass to Draisaitl and it went down the ice. They also introduced a few new wrinkles. They had the one play, and that's where Dostal made that unreal blocker save. But if you watch how they set that play up, usually Draisaitl likes to one time on the right side, sometimes at a very sharp angle. So he starts on the right side. He passes it to McDavid. He circled up between McDavid and Bouchard. Now he ends up on the left side. McDavid came over to the right side, back to Bouchard. Then they went back down to McDavid. Now McDavid and Draisaitl crisscrossed in the slot. And McDavid, if the defender came to him, which he did, McDavid just slid it back past about 6 feet to him, and Draisaitl was wide open in the low slot inside the circle, and that's where Dostal made that sick blocker save. So that's one that I want to watch for. And then the other one was McDavid came flying down the right side, comes in the zone, and usually when they drop it, the guy they drop it to on the wall, he then proceeds to slide down the wall because the guy who has speed with McDavid usually follows him in the corner. Well, this time Draisaitl just stopped. And the Duck forwards were like, what? Both of them converged to him, and Draisaitl slid the puck between them. Zach Hyman was wide open inside the circle, about 5 feet on the right circle, and he just turned and one time the pass from Draisaitl, who passed it behind him, and Hyman just sees it coming. Boom, one time. You watch that play. If they do that again, because the one thing I noticed in the Ducks penalty kill, their forwards are high. So Edmonton obviously saw a trend and said, hey, if we can get him to suck up higher, Hyman, who usually always goes down to the net on every power play, he was the late guy coming in slow, and he was high in the slot, and no one was on him. That's another one I'll watch for tonight, because I think if it works again, Hyman, rather than one-time it, he'll receive the pass and then move into even better shooting area.
Well, look, the advantage the Oilers have of having the same guys in their power play for 5 years is everyone knows what they're doing. They adjust quickly. They have, it's easy to move from plan A to B to C to D because they've been doing it together so long. The disadvantage is there's 5 years of film of the Oilers out there, the same 5 guys doing it. No one even studies the second power play on this team because they never play. So it's incumbent upon the Oilers coaches and those 5 guys in the power play to come up with some new wrinkles, right? You can't do the same thing for 5 years. I'd say to you that Draisaitl still, his office is always going to be his office. But I haven't seen near as many goals from that office in the last 2 months as I saw in the long time before that. So,
and they were still,
they're taking a lot of, that's one of the first things you take away on the Oilers. That's probably, I would say, their greatest weapon is Draisaitl in his office. Probably the next one is Hyman tipping a hard pass from the top of the blue paint. So now that's okay. If they take those 2 things away, there's other things open. They either have to quickly fall back to those new things, whether it's a Bouchard shot, whether McDavid walks in and actually shoots it. Sometimes they feed Nugent Hopkins for a good wrist shot, but it's a cat and mouse game, man. The other team, they've done a lot of study on this power play. Jay Woodcross over there, he helped put it together a couple of years back. So, it's a cat and mouse game for sure.
Yeah, no, it is. And I just looked at the good amount of looks. I don't buy for 1 second that Anaheim did anything systemically to shut down Edmonton's power play in game 2. Game 1, I'll give them credit. They stopped some zone entries. Game 2 was a total different ball game. Yeah. Edmonton had 5 really good looks. They just didn't score. But you get that many good looks, you'll eventually score. It's just how it works in the power play. It's not like it's Ottawa's power play. Couldn't even get set up on a 5-on-3. I don't know if you watched it last night or net spec, but that was
awful. I was on a plane watching that. Yeah.
Anemic. It was awful. Hey, the Ducks, though, we can't overlook the Ducks. They come in, they're 1-1. They're a young team. They got lots of different guys scoring. It doesn't matter who plays against McDavid for 2 games. They've done very well. What do you think, Quenneville? Does he just roll with the same thing, and it's going to be a split Karlsson and Washy against McDavid tonight on home ice?
It's a good question. Like, it's kind of funny because he doesn't obviously have the control in Edmonton that he would have down here in Anaheim. But geez, it's worked well. Like, I guess if I'm Joel Quenneville, how much am I going to change in terms of my strategy and my deployment against Connor McDavid? Like, am I overthinking myself, Jay? If I start trying to come up with something new here, I'm not sure. The guy has no points on me in 2 games against. Why on earth would I change what I'm doing?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Right? Don't you outsmart yourself if you start making changes you don't need to make?
Yeah, that's fair. Right? Now, there are a little bit difference because on the road, you don't get last change. Right? Now you have the option if you want to do it. I'll just be curious to see what I don't think I agree with you. I'm not sold he's going to change. And I just keep saying this. Hey, if Tim Washy at the end of this series is even with McDavid or -1 at 5-on-5 playing whatever it is, 30 minutes, I will be like, good for him, because I never would have expected it, because there's no numbers that would suggest it would be that way.
No, and I mean, you're not going to – Connor McDavid's going to play, 18 5-on-5 minutes tonight. Are you going to play Tim Washy 18 5-on-5 minutes tonight? Yeah. No, you're not, because then it's going to come at the expense of guys like Karlsson. So, let's see. Listen, a big piece of beating the Edmonton Oilers is eliminating Connor McDavid. If for some reason this guy's got the secret sauce, well, you better ride that horse if you're Anaheim. But I have a hard time thinking, like, I talked to Tim Washy this morning, and he said he's got a bunch of buddies in Canada that are bugging him for being the guy eliminating McDavid, but he wouldn't take all the credit. He said, it's our line, it's 5 guys and all that stuff. But you know what? He's making a name for himself. Good for him. He played in the same college team with the kid that the Oilers just signed, Owen Michaels.
Yes.
Both undrafted.
Yeah. Well, and in 5 years for Washington.
5 years at Western Michigan. Both undrafted players. And, Michaels isn't playing for Edmonton, but Washington's got something going. Give the kid credit, man. He's a big guy, and he's found a bit of a role here.
Lastly, the lines starting tonight are the lines that they finished last game with Savoy, Rosovic, and Szymanski, and then basically Nugent and Ross and Savoy switch lines, and both of those lines scored after that switch was made. So I get why the coach sticks with it, but let's call a spade here. The number 1 line needs to do way more 5-on-5.
The number 1 line, McDavid's line's got 1 goal in this series, so you won't win a series. Any team. Almost, I would say any team in the NHL. You find me a team if they score 1, if their first line doesn't produce at all, it's really hard to win. That's why they're your first line. They're supposed to produce. So yes, that first line's also all on the power play, and they need to start producing there. You need more on a Nugent Hopkins. There's no doubt about that. And McDavid and Hyman and the rest of the guys got to get her going here, because you can't. It's pretty awesome that they got 4 even strength goals both games, and a whole bunch from guys on the second, third, fourth line. That's rare air for the Edmonton Oilers. But in the end, you win by doing the things you do best. And in Edmonton, the things you do best are your power play and Connor McDavid's line.
Lastly, Spec, switching gears very quickly. Hoffman out as the closer, Varland's in. How long do you think there's a chance that Hoffman gets that job back later in the year?
It's a long year in baseball. It's a long year. Is Varland a genuine closer? Can he do it, 2 out of every 3 games? I mean, let's see, right? Let's see. Here's what we know so far. Right now, Hoffman can't do it. We know that. We don't know that Varland can. He's got to prove it. If he takes the job and runs with it, it's his for good. Hats off to him, man. Take that job and go. But it's a lot easier coming in when the guy in front of you, when you're a second choice. It's another when you wake up in the morning knowing I'm the closer. I'm getting the last 3 outs every night. They're counting on me in the 9th inning every single night. It's a whole different ballgame when you got to wear that hat every day.
Yeah, very true. Spec, enjoy the game tonight. Should be a lot of fun. We'll chat with you on Monday.
All right, thanks.
Mark Spector, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. When we come back, LT will join us. Man, Montreal just does it different. Their pregame ceremony is off the charts good, man. Like, it's been around for so long. How come other teams can't come close? I don't understand it. Like, come on. How come no one else can come even close to it? It is a different level for an intro, man. Great theater. We'll return. It's On the Rocks. Hey, you know what? No one else does like OTR. A lot of places have tried. They are one of a kind. Check it out this weekend, tonight, tomorrow. OTR Jasper Ave, 118th Street. We'll return with LT.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle. Trouble low down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Would you like to be a part of history for the month of April? I'm kidding. Or as the kids say, bro, I'm joking. Would you like to help us set a record in April? Chill, still kidding. At Northgate, we aren't trying to set any records or tell you how many vehicles we sell, and we really don't think you'd care. But what you will care about is this. Every dealer has the same costs. Trust me, GM does not have a favorite kid. You get to decide where you buy. 0% financing, a great selection, and of course, great people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or business online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
From the first pitch to the final out. Catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
Hold on to your hockey helmets, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 69-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadian and Coors Light for $5.75. Plus, OTR's TVs are so clear, you'll see the puck better than the ref.
That ain't hard, is it?
Score and win every game night during Edmonton's playoff run with specials starting 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocksyeg.com.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
What does deadline mean?
It means you have to do something before time runs out.
Oh, like buying your big brother's, big sister's dream home tickets?
Yes, exactly like that.
The Dream Home Lottery deadline is April 30th, just 6 days away. Your chance to win the grand prize, your choice, a dream home or $1 million and take home half the Win 50 jackpot is almost gone. Every ticket supports kids right here in our community. BigBrothersDreamHome.org. When you buy a ticket, you help a child.
Lottery license 745563 and 745562. Please play responsibly.
As we all try to figure out when winter will actually stop and spring will finally be here for the season, GS Construction moves ahead with their plans for the year. From planning and digging to laying out underground infrastructure, construction season is limited, so we make every day count. And that's why GS Construction counts on our team to get the job done right. Crews are getting back in action across the city, and we'd like you to join us. We're looking for experienced top men, pipe layers, operators, and surveyors. For more, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday rolls on. Hope you're having a lovely day. If you're a Canadiens fan, they went up 1-0, but Tampa Bay just tied it 2 goals in the first 8 minutes of that game and is rocking in Montreal right now. It's been a great start to that game from the pregame to now to the goals, and we rock and roll. Oiler fans, you got a few hours. Just under 3, in fact, as a puck drop probably around 8:15-ish tonight. Oilers taking on the Anaheim Ducks. We don't expect any lineup changes. Dickinson, there's a chance he could play. I think probably maybe more likely on Sunday, but we'll see. And then, of course, Utah is hosting their first ever home playoff game against the Vegas Golden Knights. So might have to tune into that one just to see, like, what do they got for a little pregame. Should be fun. It's not going to match Montreal, although who knows? Maybe Utah will become the Montreal of the U.S. because right now, like, nobody can do it. Nobody can match the pregames of the Montreal Canadiens. It's absolutely wild stuff. And Braden Point gets his first of the playoffs, a power play goal. Jake Gensel's already got 5 apples in the playoffs so far. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley with you as it's time to get to Playoff Report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace or AC. Bundle them together, saving more. LegacyHeating.ca. Host of the Lowdown, noon to 2, Alan Mitchell joins us. LT, how you doing?
I'm very well. It's a great time to be a fan. There's baseball, there's football draft going on, and there's playoff hockey in the NHL, which is the best time of year.
And playoffs in the NBA. It's awesome. Any idea why, like, no other teams can come close to intros like Montreal? Like, I don't get it. Like, everybody's seen it. That no one seems to be able to match it.
Well, it's true, and they've always had that though. There's first of all, there used to be the lore of the Montreal Forum, like they'd run Rocket Richard or Jean Beliveau out there, and there's just a special place. But I think they just have people who are who can do it really, really well. And there's an authenticity about it. It's first class all the way. It really is. And they, honestly, since I was a kid, they've always done that really well. Their retirements are really good. Their season opening is really good. If there's anything to do with honoring a player or anything like that, or somebody who's retiring, Montreal Canadiens have always been first class. And I actually don't know who would be in second place because they're so far ahead.
Do you think or what's your thoughts, expectations of how the Oilers are going to play tonight?
Well, I think they'll win the game. I think that there's a lot of people who are down on the team, but this is a special teams issue. I think the power play isn't playing well. The power play gave up a shorthanded goal. I think the penalty kill due to injuries and other things may not be as strong as it needs to be. But at 5-on-5, this team played well. McDavid hasn't scored in 2 games or scored any points in 2 games. Bouchard hasn't scored. You know that it's only a matter of time. And look, I like Anaheim. I think they're supercharged and they play well. But the Oilers haven't, they're a little lackadaisical with the puck and taking care of the puck. And sometimes this team, even though they're a veteran team, they need a reminder, and they certainly got one. And I also think maybe not as many penalties will help this team too. I expect Edmonton to win tonight. Maybe not like 6-1 or anything, but I think they'll win tonight. And I think that the conversation on the post-game show will be about how well Connor McDavid and his line played. And I suspect Leon Draisaitl's line will play well as well.
The matchup game, there wasn't any hard matchups. I'm not so, other than defense, of course, the top 2 pairings are going to play against McDavid, pretty much how it was. I don't think that's going to change. And so with that, the Oilers' third line, they scored the massive goal in the third period in Savoy. And Matt Savoy has gotten better every time. Hey, the playoffs are a different beast, man. It takes you a while to use it. But the speed on the 2 wings there, and Szymanski's a pretty decent skater down the middle. To me, that's the line that could really maybe jumpstart the Oilers here tonight.
I agree. I think that there's always a sense of rookies. That would be 2 rookies on the same line. But Szymanski's never played like a rookie. And if you remember back when Savoy started the year, he was like penalty killing in 4th line. He has come such a long way as a player, and he's really smart. He's a very smart hockey player, and so the odds of those guys getting caught is not high. And I think that in terms of offense, in terms of creativity, that line really has a chance. Roslovic is he goes long periods without scoring, but he's high skill. Savoy is too, and Szymanski has been just a revelation. I don't know that he's got a upper end offensive game overall, but he scored a goal the other night and looked like he knew what he was doing. So I'm actually really looking forward to that line. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'd like to see the 4th line bangers on the wing play a little more too, but we'll see how the ice time breaks out.
Yeah, to me, it's going to come down there hasn't been many penalties in this series. The only series that has fewer penalties is Vegas. They have 10, and this series had 11. So not a lot of penalties, but the Oilers' penalty kill is allowed 3 out of 5. Not good. Now, Nurse has been in the penalty box for 2 of them, and both times they got scored on. Him and Murphy have been way better when they're together. So if he can stay out of the penalty box, although I thought his second penalty was kind of cheap. But to me, it's a question of the forwards. And I know that Kapanen and Dickinson were a duo, and Nugent Hopkins and McDavid are a duo, but Savoy was playing with Henry. He's not anymore, and he's with Szymanski. So I got to get Kapanen on the penalty kill more if it's me tonight. I don't need to play. I know he's good on the penalty kill. I don't care. Kapanen's fine. I'd like to see Kapanen more than McDavid if it's me.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And you also have to, what I don't want to see is 28 minutes or something like that from anybody. This is a team. And there are guys who are able to play. Kapanen's got good speed, good stick. He's smart hockey player. And this team is going to get healthier up the middle. But right now, if you can use anybody on the wing who's not on the top line, and certainly if you can avoid using McDavid and Draisaitl, on penalty kill, you should do that. I do wonder about, you mentioned line matching. I don't think it's going to be a factor at all, but I wonder, as we go along here, Nurse and Murphy they're playing pretty significant 5-on-5 minutes. And I do wonder, if the Oilers, when they're on the road, they may just rotate sometimes the top 2 pairs, and the third pair might not play. They might even play less than they did if the game is close and it's late.
Yeah, I like Jake Wallman's game. I wouldn't want to take him off the ice that much. I don't want to overplay Matthias Ekholm. I don't see the reason to do that. So I could see if Emberson's going to stick around 10 or 11, but I I wouldn't overplay Matthias Ekholm early if it's me. I've liked Jake Wallman's game for 2 games, so I don't think there's any reason to have to kind of go away from that. So we'll see. The other matchup that intrigues me is like, hey, McDavid's line obviously has got to get going, no question. But Draisaitl's line is rolling, absolutely rolling right now. And if Carlson's going to get McDavid more, that is an opportunity for Draisaitl's line to keep feasting on whoever's going to get him.
Yeah, this is a team that has 2 lines that can beat you, and we've talked about this before, but Draisaitl is a ridiculous hockey player, but Vasily Podkolzin has improved in so many ways. His passing is exceptional. He's a smart player. He can play it rough, but he doesn't go over the line. He can pry pucks off the boards and make a play with them. And on the other side, Kapanen. I think Kapanen plays his best hockey with Draisaitl. They're just really well suited to play together. And so that line is a load. It doesn't matter where you play, home or the road. And I think they'll be a major factor tonight.
Well, I agree. Al, a few other notes from around the NHL from watching. The Ottawa Senators, man, that might be one of the closer series that ever ends in a loss. Your goalie has a .933 save percentage and a 2.02, and you're down 2-0. Like, it's wild. Like everybody's like, you got to play better defense. Sure, for some teams, but you got to score. And Ottawa can't. Yeah. They got 3 goals in 3 games. Like, it's pathetic, really.
Yeah, and they've had chances, but you got to the playoffs can be like, because every game is so important, and it's a short series, so you can stare at the shot. The shot clock, and you can talk about all the great chances, but you got to cash. And right now, I mean, in looking at at these 2 teams, you're right, it's close, but I mean, they could be shaking hands, and
they will.
I think Ottawa is like, I think that this is going to be a tough summer for them. The Tkachuk situation seems to be untenable, and just like, I like that team. I like their defense. There's a lot about that team that is really good, but I think they're in for a tough summer, and this is really unfortunate because they deserve to be they deserve at least 1 win in this series, and you could argue 2.
Oh, game 2 is the one they should have won. No doubt in my mind. That's the one they should have won. So, and you know what? Hey, a lot of times you don't get a second opportunity, and it doesn't look like they're going to get a second opportunity. How much? I know they got Panarin. That's a massive get for the Kings. They'll have Fiala, although I'm not sure he'll be ready to start the season or not. But how many other changes do you see LA making in the offseason? Like, they're not coming back to win 4 straight either, so they're done. No. It's just a matter if they're done at 4 or 5. How many significant, like, they got to bring another coach, right? Like, you can't have DJ Smith. You can't keep hiring the assistant coaches of the previous head coach when you have the same system.
Yeah, no, what they needed to do, like, I know that there was a lot of outside hockey attached to Joel Quenneville, but he came into Anaheim and he's improved that team, and that's what the LA needs to not get, a run of the mill retread or anything like that. They got to get somebody who's got real vision. I still think they got a little too old last July 1st, and I think it cost them. And they got to find somebody who can, Byfield is a naturally talented guy. Clark is. They need to get more out of their young players too, because they look. I don't blame them. I mean, Kopitar and Doughty and even Quick, they were great hockey players. But it's time to move on, and they will. But I think that they've got to be able to make these young, gifted players that they drafted high into difference makers, and I think maybe get a little younger in the offseason and a little quicker, because look, they're good defensemen. There's no doubt about it. But I just think that if you have a 34-year-old defenseman and he has a good year, the next year he's 35. You can't be as sure he's going to be able to keep going as he has more and more miles on him.
Al, enjoy the game. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy game 3 and 4. When we talk to you on Wednesday, 2-2, 3-1. What are you seeing?
I think it's going to be coming. It's going to be 2-2 coming back here, but the Oilers win tonight.
All right, Al. Appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
All right. Be good. Have a great weekend, boys.
There you go. That's Al Mitchell, a.k.a. Low Tide. Quick break. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. We'll return with Cam Tate. It's Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Are you looking for safe and reliable transportation solutions for your wedding, corporate retreat, or golf trip? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer 3 different sizes of units to cater to your needs, and we provide first-class service at affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Coming, an unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit prosolutionsinc.ca to schedule your service today.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at hughescarwash.com.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. Use code 1440 for 15% off at notaloneco.com. It's okay to not be okay.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And a deal later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
free McDonald's.
Now that's what I call
a double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value. For a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
It's the EV for City Wildlife, the all-new, all-electric 2026 Subaru Uncharted. Quick charging with get-up-and-go performance. And best of all, so much fun. So test drive the all-new, all-electric 2026 Uncharted today and discover why it's definitely the Subaru for you. The EV for City Wildlife. To learn more about this very exciting arrival and all things Subaru, start here. Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
It's here. The Ford, it's a big not yet. The Ford, it's a big deal. Oh, guys, just wait. The Ford, it's a big deal event is on. Really? Now. Hurry in to lease a 2026 F-150 STX with black adherence package from $237 bi-weekly at 0% APR for 36 months with $54.90 down. That's like $119 a week. The Ford, it's a big deal event. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca.
Fast track your financial goals with a special rate term deposit from Vision Credit Union. For a limited time, take advantage of a great rate on 1, 3, or 5-year terms. Plus, as a Vision Credit Union member, you can earn up to 25% more on your interest through profit shares. For details, contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca. That's visioncu.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll through. It's been a busy week, exciting week. NHL playoffs, of course. And now we're into the meat of the series, Game 3. We had a few last night, some game 3s again tonight, and a few game 4s coming up on the weekend. The Edmonton Oilers would love to get a 2-1 series lead. We'll find out if they have one in about 5.5 hours by the time it's done. But puck drop tonight just after 8 o'clock. Oilers in Anaheim, as we are going to get to the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by McDonald's. Deal sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value. Only available until May 4th at McDonald's. And Cam Tate, longtime journalist in town. Cam, of course, has cerebral palsy. He's born in a wheelchair. He's never let him slow him down. He's always wanted to be on radio. And now, through technology, Cam's words come to life in the 2-minute warning. On Fridays, the Tate man asks me to read his words. So cue the music, Con Man. I will never know exactly how the ice feels under their skates. I do not know the quiet weight of the locker room before the puck drops. But I know that they are tied 1-1. A best-of-7 series resting on a razor's edge. No preparation, no roadmap, zero safety net. Just two teams stepping into the Southern California night, ready for the steep climb of a roller coaster track. Here's what I see as Game 3 begins. The Oilers and Ducks tied at 1. A best-of-7 marathon begun. They take to the ice to pay the deep price and finish the work they have done. Disneyland offers a magical day. The happiest place, people say. But grown-ups want thrills and drop tower chills. Adventure is where they will play. McDavid is caught in a spell, a quietness no one can quell. It is not a skid, just magic he hid. He soon will be skating quite well. The power play slept through the night. It lacked any rhythm or fight. An early alarm might rescue their charm and help them to find the right light. I wonder if Dickinson will dress. The coaches leave us to guess. Will he take a shift and offer a lift to pull his team out of the mess? Young Savoy was fighting his nerves, a rookie adjusting to curves. The novelty fades through Anaheim shades. He steps into all he deserves. The history loops like a track with memories pulling them back. Through sunshine and heat, they battle defeat and look for the scoring they lack. The ice is a mirror for all. You rise or you gracefully fall. They look to the light in the Anaheim night and answer the roller coaster's call. Things fall apart, then they come back together. We watch them finding their footing. We watch them finding their rhythm. We watch them finding their way back. It's Cam Tate, 2-minute warning, Jason Gregor Show. Cam's a poet, didn't even know it. There you go. Tate are always coming up with new angles. I like it. It's good. Coming up tonight, of course, we got the pregame show at 6 o'clock with Walker and Paulson. They'll take you right through to puck drop in Anaheim tonight. A little 2-hour extravaganza. So stay tuned for that. Win all sorts of great prizes. We have Lightning and Canadians late in the first period. They are knotted up at 1 as Texier opened up the scoring, and then Braden Point tied it on a power play. You have the Golden Knights in Utah, their first ever NHL playoff game tonight. Also, the Connor Halley will update you on the Jays. Oh my God, Max Scherzer. What is happening to Max Scherzer? But we'll see. Hey, maybe a little comeback in action. We will find out what's going on there. Is Hoffman going to be a relief pitcher? Where's he coming in? Is he going to be the setup guy? Maybe we'll get a little taste of where he will be tonight. Also this weekend, NFL draft for you. I know Connor and Declan right now. Cons, did Hood get drafted?
He did, yeah.
He did. See, look, he could have enjoyed all of it, but he elected to pout and not stay and not show up for day 2. That's such a weird decision to me. Like, that's got to be the first guy who's ever done that. It seems rather weird to sit through day 1 and then not, because you don't get called, even though no one expects you to get called. But then you're mad you don't get called, and then you take it out on yourself and you don't enjoy the moment. Kind of a weird situation, I would say. So, anywho, enjoy the weekend, boys and girls. Please be safe. Don't drink and drive. Thanks as always for listening. We always appreciate you listening, texting, chatting on the YouTube chat. It's much appreciated. Have yourselves a great weekend. Please don't drink and drive. For everybody on their out stuck in Fort Mac on the highway. I hope you're doing okay. I hear it's starting to clear up, which is great news. It started to move after a lengthy delay, so that is good news. Drive safe, everyone. Have yourselves an awesome weekend. Enjoy the games, and we'll be back on Monday. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. Little cold outside. Don't worry. They got 73 locations for you to shop till you drop. Find the car that's right for you. Cars, trucks, you name it, they got it. Any color, goauto.ca. Have a great night and come down to OTR if you're looking for some fun. Jasper Ave and 118th Street, your best place to watch the game with 400 of your friends. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day, Oilers, Ducks, game 3 from Anaheim. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. Pre-game coverage coming your way with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and Landon Ferraro just after 6. Right now, Lightning Canadians tied at 1 apiece after 20, and later on tonight, you got Mammoth and Golden Knights. That series also tied at 1. In the association, Celtics up on the Sixers, 41-35 in the second quarter. Later this evening, Lakers and Rockets, plus the Blazers get the Spurs. In the majors, tough start for Scherzer and the Jays, giving up 5 runs to the Guardians in the first. They now trail 5-3 in the second. We've also got the Orioles on top of the Red Sox 5-1. Reds at home trail the Tigers 4-0. Rays lead the Twins 2-0. And the Angels, Royals, Brewers, Pirates, and Nationals, White Sox all scoreless later tonight. Athletics head to Texas, taking on the Rangers. Astros up against the Yankees. Mariners in St. Louis. Dodgers, Cubs, and the Giants take on the Marlins. And the BCHL Crusaders in Brooks for Game 5 tonight against the Bandits. Currently tied at 2 games apiece. Puck drop at 7. And, of course, right now you've got the NFL second and third round draft underway from Pittsburgh. Coming up next, pregame coverage with Andrew Walker, and make sure to hang around for postgame once this one wraps up. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKG